bitch. Oh, excuse you? Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hold on. Cause I was trying to do something. Hey y'all, welcome back. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Chris Avalon. Welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, which we basically talk about all things going on in celebrity news and hot topics. So that's a show for you. Definitely stick around because we got a lot of tea to spill today. I was trying to do something. Let me see if I can add this because what I was trying to do. That's gonna be annoying because now I got to figure out something. Apparently, I was trying to add my Twitter or something, whatever. All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it alone because I don't know, for some reason I was trying to stream live on Twitter, but now it's giving me a whole runaround, whatever. So I'm just gonna be on Facebook and the YouTube channel today. So how's everybody doing? We have a good show today. We got a lot of topics to get into. So we're gonna be talking about, of course, we got some Scream 7 news. So we gotta get into this whole David Arquette story that's going around. There was a story I was going to do the other day on Patrick Dempsey, but I was just like, well, since all of this is kind of going hand in hand, I'll bring it up in here. Plus, I got some Batman 2 news. We got to talk about Miss Demi Moore. I want to talk about Beyonce and a whole bunch of other stuff that's going on with her. Apparently, they're saying that she's bitching and moaning about gaining weight or whatever the case is. So we'll get into that. Plus, we got to talk about that Luigi Mangione sex tape that's floating around that everybody's talking about on social media. We got to talk about Lady Gaga and Katy Perry. Apparently, they're going to be performing in Mexico City at the same time, and how some people are refunding their tickets or reselling their tickets for Katy Perry so they can go see the Mayhem show over in Mexico City. Plus, we got to talk about Aubrey going in on Diddy and the fact that Diddy's team is going in on her for what she said about him over at the Masked Singer. We got to talk about apparently Armie Hammer had himself a little homosexual tryst and how he said that he was done because he kissed a boy and he didn't like it. Unlike Katy Perry fake ass, she talking about she kissed a girl and she liked it, but I don't believe it. Like Lady Gaga said, she's like, I don't believe it. So then we also got to talk about another porn star that had passed away. And we have some drag race news. The Vivienne's getting herself a documentary, so we got to talk about that. We got to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race Live and how you could see it without actually having to go to Vegas to see it. Plus, and we also got to talk about Kori King revealing that she would have BenDeLaCreme herself in last week's episode had Lydia V. Kollins, been able to, I don't know. She's basically talking about she would have chopped herself in the show. I'm not buying it, but we'll wait until we get around to that topic and talk about it. So we have that and a whole lot more. So before we get to those topics, if you could do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button, and also be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And also, after the live stream, I will be putting in timestamps for the show for those who want to watch the playback. You can go directly to the clips that I have in hand, and if you don't want to sit through the banter that we do during the live stream and all that good stuff, you know how we do over here on the live chat. So anyway, let me hit my banner. Let's see who's in the room. Carl's in the building. Who doing? Sailor Mermaid's in the building. Greetings. Oh, you said don't add my Twitter. Oh, wow, because of some of the stuff I be saying. um, all things drag race. Magical Mermaids in the building. Oh, I saw your post the other day. I think I did comment on it. About oh my God, who was the porn star? Tim Kruger. That video, of course, because I talk about adult stuff, that video's already blown up. I don't believe it, but we'll get to that. Oh, and Felix is in the building. How you doing? Ticket resales. That's what they're trying to say. You said my internet wasn't interneting. The problem was I hit the wrong button and kicked myself out, so I had to come back. So that was my fault this time. The other parts is like, yeah, the internet, but yeah, that was my fault. I was trying to add something else, and then I know what I was trying to upload the Instagram, but I think you have to do like a key or whatever you have to put it. It was a mess. So Lizzo's new song. Oh, I didn't even hear it. Probably because, like I told you before, I'm not really a big Lizzo fan. Um, I listened to a lot of her music and stuff when I lived in LA because it was playing around a lot. But for the most part, she gives me like show tune queen with the way her songs are. There's a couple of songs I do think is cute or whatever the case is, but I'm not really a big Lizzo fan. So I mean, so I haven't even heard it, but I guess I'll check it out. You said basically Gaga hasn't performed in Mexico City in 14 years. That's why I heard why that yeah, and people haven't really seen Lady Gaga perform. So that's going to be a big moment for a lot of the Mexicans. We said not bad. Well, yeah, I would child quiet as it's kept. I would resell my tickets either. If if I happen to be working the show, I'd be like, I will resell my tickets too. But I'm getting paid to work at Katy Perry concerts. That's the only time you'll see me have to sit through a mess on one of her shows. Another headache that I'm dealing with right now, but I'm gonna wait and do my schedule at the last minute. Apparently, Kylie Minogue's two shows launches the same day as City Field. I know they're trying to push to get us to do our schedule. Child, you gave us to the 24th. So I'm waiting to see how many shows I'm going to be working. If Kylie's only going to work one or both, just like this weekend, I'm working both of Dom Dollar shows. And Dom Dollar was at the Garden yesterday. He was there. Screaming for Hudson was there with Common. 50 Cent was there with some of the cast of Power because they got the new season coming out. I think it's Raising Canaan. So they had some of the cast there. There was a lot of people. Patrick Ewing was in the building. It was a lot of it was like I was like, okay, there's a lot more celebrities than usual. But yeah, so they were all there and all that other good stuff. So yeah, I'm trying to see because I'm like, I am not trying to work no baseball and put that over some damn Kylie Minogue. Because a lot of my coworkers are talking about they want to work that show too. I'm like, damn, I didn't realize there was that many Kylie fans I work with, by the way. People that I wouldn't even expect that would be Kylie fans, because I'd be stereotyping, I'd be thinking it's only the homosexuals, but it was like, some of the people of some there that like marry with kids and everything, I'm like, y'all are Kylie fans, okay? So that goes to show, don't judge a book by its cover. We'll have a weekly Billboard Top 20 review. Oh, you talking about like of all the songs and stuff? Well, I mean, y'all bring it up in the show, especially Robert always bring it up top this and Billboard that. We usually just talk about it in passing. So who knows? Maybe I'll add that to the show. Because we talking about Tate McRae went number one. I can't get my head around. I can't get my head around Katy Perry. Period. Not just in Mexico City, but nevertheless. All right, y'all. So let's get into our first topic and let's talk about David Arquette. So yeah, this news broke yesterday. I wasn't able to do it because y'all know I was working yesterday. I know everybody was getting all their brains turned into mashed potatoes over that stupid State of the Union. I did not watch it. I've just been watching people who reported back on it that are my trusted officials and stuff. So I've been getting my life. I mean, I've basically been getting my information on them breaking it down because I was not sitting through that foolishness and that shit show. And I watched Bernie Sanders' video on that. But nevertheless, I was busy working the Knicks game yesterday, which I was hoping they was going to beat Steph Curry's team, but then they lost, the Wizards, in like the fourth quarter. That fourth quarter pissed me off. But anyway, nevertheless, this ain't about sports. Let's talk about this. So yeah, this story broke yesterday, and I was mad because I was like, damn, I'm not live and I'm not gonna be able to talk about it. But I was like, look, I'll let it marinate. It don't matter when the story comes out. It was like as soon as you hear the story, what your overall opinions are. So the news broke yesterday that David Arquette is the latest deceased character that is set to make his return to Scream 7. So now y'all know, like, throughout the whole situation, there's been a lot of talk. We've been getting a lot of news of a lot of people who are supposed to be unalive that are coming back to the Scream franchise, such as Scott Foley, who was the killer in Scream 3. Then we got Stu and Billy that's supposed to be coming back, and so many other characters. We haven't heard of Jill's coming back, but I wouldn't be surprised if she's the next one that's going to be named as part of the cast. But people have their overall theories and stuff about why some of these characters are going to be coming back, and I'll give my theories in a second. But Deadline, per usual, because they've been the ones that's been breaking a lot of these casting stories, revealed what was going on. So the 53-year-old actor who played the beloved Woodsboro cop in the original 1996 film Scream, along with in 1997 Scream 2, 2000 Scream 3, 2011 Scream 4, and 2022 soft reboot of Scream. So the character, as y'all know, was killed in 2022 Scream by Oscar winner Mikey Madison, who, played Amber Freeman. And now they're saying that he's going to be coming back. But now people are like, how? And I do have some of the comments from some of the fandom that are asking this question. So now he previously joined, as I stated before, Stu Macher, Matthew Lillard from the original Scream, and Scott Foley's Roman Bridger from Scream 3. Now, while it remains unclear how these deceased characters will play into the story, fans have not been shy on social media reacting to the news. So some are quite stunned, while some are floating various theories as how Dewey and the others will figure into the story. So they said the first 4 films were set in the sleepy town of Woodsboro, which is terrorized by a mysterious killer only known as Ghostface. Each film had different killer or ers, with the first being Lillard Stu Macher and Skeet Ulrich's Billy Loomis. It's worth noting that Ulrich did return as Loomis in 2022 Scream in the form of a Force Ghost. That's what I'm calling it. They say it's hallucination, whatever the case is, it's a Force Ghost, because I'm a Star Wars fan, so I always got to use some sort of a Star Wars reference, even though the Star Wars movies, quiet as it's kept, have been crap for the past decade. So basically, Skeet Ulrich, when he came back as the Force Ghost, he was Sam Carpenter's conscience. And because they were trying to say, well, is being a homicidal maniac hereditary? So that was kind of like the angle that Radio Silence's Scream franchise situation was trying to focus on. And so he was kind of like guiding her, I guess, through that. I guess they were trying to go in the form of like the Dark Passenger, very Dexter with the whole vibe. Because remember, his Dark Passenger or his guidance was his father. When you watch the Dexter, even the prequel, the original show, and I don't know what they plan on doing with the upcoming sequel where Michael C. Hall apparently is not dead. But, then he was also in Scream 6. And there were parts of those movies that I liked, but overall, there was I had some irritations with Radio Silence's take on the whole Scream franchise, and we'll get into that. So they said, in lieu of any confirmation by the studio, fans did take to social media and decided to get out their speculations. Now, one Twitter user, Steeler Vol for Life, said, I grant you there's no effing way 115-pound Mikey Madison killed a 161-pound and a former professional wrestler in David Arquette in Scream 5, but I still ask the question, how? We saw him in a body bag. Yeah, and all the many times that he was stabbed up in all the other films by people twice his size, how the hell this little woman, this petite little child, is the one that actually got him? Which makes some people think that she took the credit, but Amber didn't actually do the killing. Now, but then again, who did it? Because it couldn't have been Richie. Richie was literally within sight of Tara and Sam when they got on the elevator. So it couldn't have been him. But that was the angle they wanted to go with in the BS situation. So that's what it was. Now, another user said his it says Galps. I'm not even gonna read the names because some of these names are just stupid. But another user basically said this. They said it can mean one of two things. It's a flashback scene, or 2, Scream 7 is going to be the franchise equivalent of Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Now I've heard stories about that too. That it's sort of going to be a meta thing, that maybe he's going to come in playing David Arquette, not necessarily Dewey Riley. Same thing, so what does this mean? That we're not getting Gail Weathers, that we're getting Courtney Cox, and then we're not getting Nev Campbell. We're getting Nev Campbell instead of Sydney. So I don't know if they're going to go in that direction. It would be interesting if they went in that direction, but I hope they don't go in that direction. And I actually love Wes Craven's New Nightmare and that whole angle they went with that, where it's sort of like Freddy actually bleeds into the real world. And so you get Freddy and then you get Robert Englund and that sort of thing. So now, New Nightmare, as you know, was Wes Craven's film directly before the first Scream, which featured the actors from the original A Nightmare on Elm Street franchise as themselves and not in character. But I don't think that's where they're going with that. Now, another person said, this movie is just doing anything. Which I don't know if that's necessarily the case. I'm going to trust in them to know what they're doing. But if that's the case, and I go see the movie and it is y'all just throwing whatever at us, including the kitchen sink, and y'all only doing this just because you're upset over the whole idea that Spyglass is more focused on the people that have been trolling them online because of the whole Melissa Barrera backlash versus just going in, making a slasher movie, and fingers crossed that the hardcore Scream fans will turn out to see this movie. There are a lot of people who are outside of this whole Justice for Melissa Barrera bubble that are not paying attention to all the stuff that I'm talking about right now to you on this show. There's a lot of people who don't care about all that. They love horror movies. They just want to watch a movie. They see familiar character. Oh, I remember her from da 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 da. I want to see this movie. I want to be scared. And that's what people are, some people are focused on. Then there's going to be those people who are just going to be pissed off and they're not going to want to go to see a movie. And that's fine. But as somebody who has been a Scream fan since the 90s and on and beyond, I'm curious to see what they're going to do with this one. I'm not giving up on a film because Melissa Barrera was fired because she stood up for Palestine. So now everybody's got to lose out for a job. I'm glad she did what she did. And I'm tired of having to reiterate this to make a point. Kudos to her. She should be able to have the right to protest against what she wants to protest against. And look, you hate them or not, studios have a right to feel how they feel. If they want to fire you over whatever, you have an opinion different than theirs, that's on them too. And we as a people have a right to not want to support stuff that they do. But however, this is bigger than Spyglass. To me, Spyglass is not the only studio that's behind these Scream movies. And there are so many people that are just wanting to work, especially with it slim pickings, with a lot of things going on theatrically and on streaming or whatever the case is. People need those. People's got to work. People got bills to pay, especially when we're in a current administration that's just slashing this here, there, and everywhere, and unemployment's about to go up. So y'all want to sit up down here and count people money and tell them what they should and shouldn't be auditioning for and what job they should be going on because you want them to fit some sort of moral compass or match your situation. Worry about yourself. You stand up for whatever you're doing. You don't know what's going on in these people's pockets. You don't know what bills they got to pay or how many people on their team they have to pay. You have to realize that there's a lot of moving parts that goes on in Hollywood, and a lot of these actors have to pay this one, that one, the other one in order to, before they even get to see a dime of what they made from these movies. So then also, so then I saw somebody respond to, there were some people that responded to Deadline. There were some people that were responding to the rap because all the big trades was talking about it. But then another person, I just said, somebody went and responded to Deadline and we watched the movie. Hey, Mike, I talk to him every now and again when we on Twitter. So, they basically said, gotta be a new nightmare now. Crazy. Another person said, new nightmare version of Scream. So, like a dream sequence. There's some people that think of that. Another person said, all the challenged individuals think this means the character is alive. So, there's a lot of different theories that's going on. And in addition to David Arquette, we got Dewey's widow, Gail Weathers, is coming back, along with Nev Campbell, as we know. Mason Gooding is coming back. Jasmine Savoy Brown is coming back. And, they play Chad and Mindy, who are their twins. So, I think that their characters are being bumped up. So they're half of the core four, because we're not going to get the Carpenter sisters. But hopefully they explain it, why we're not getting them. And y'all need to do to them the same way y'all did to Sydney. Sydney deserved her piece. And keep it moving. Because just like how, and to me, here's another thing. The thing that pissed me off with Spyglass once they took it over and then they brought in Radio Silence, and I like Radio Silence stuff. I love Ready or Not. I love Abigail. However, the way y'all treated the legacy characters in this movie pissed me off. Y'all either sideline them, you want to kill one off, but then you give your characters fucking plot armor. So that pissed me off. The way y'all was doing all that. Oh, we were just going to focus on all our characters while we just kind of bench the people that helped build this franchise. And we know the ones that built this franchise, in addition to Sydney, was Gail and Dewey, because they survived for decades in all of these movies, where it could have been like, if the studio wanted, they could have moved on to different characters, but they kept coming back. And we kept coming back for more because we like hanging out with these characters. But the way when y'all brought these new characters in and the way y'all treated them, that pissed me off. But I will say this, because everybody's got their theories. Well, I am happy that David's coming back. The thing that's also pissing me off is the fact that why couldn't all of these reveals be a surprise? Why do we have to know that Scott Foley's coming back? Why do we have to know that, Matthew Lillard is coming back and possibly they'll find a way to bring in Skeet Ulrich? Why do we have to even know that David Arquette has signed on to come in? Whatever happened to just secretly shooting scenes with people like Cloak and Dagger type stuff? Put a mask or something on them. Have one of each actor that you have coming in Have them dress up as Ghostface, get out the car, go in the studio, shoot your scenes or whatever. We don't know about it. Everybody signs a ironclad whatever, NDA, whatever you want to call it. So we don't know. And then when we see the movie, we're surprised. I would have loved to have had these elements of surprise. They're ruining everything. And I feel like a lot of this is coming from the overall insecurity of Spyglass, where y'all are not trusting enough in the fandom that we're going to come out and support it. Horror movie fans are the most loyal, most loyalist of fans. I don't even know. It don't sound like that's a proper term, but it's going to be a proper term today. My brain is what it is right now. So horror movie fans are extremely loyal. I know I am. I love a horror movie. That's like my favorite genre out of many genres. And I love a lot of movies, but horror movies are always going to be something I watch to the day I close my eyes and leave the damn earth. So I would have loved to have been surprised by all this, but I do feel like this is overall insecurity on Spyglass's part because of the whole Melissa Barrera backlash. Where it's like, oh, we don't know if people are going to come out and see this movie. You don't know until the movie comes out. We see a trailer, y'all start promoting it, you put the movie out, and people come and give their overall opinions. You don't know until opening weekend, which is a year from last month. So you won't know. So you can't predict. But I don't like all these spoilations that's going on. That's the thing that's been pissing me off about a lot of this stuff that's coming out. So one of the things but I will say this, I am overall curious as to what the plot line is going to be. Now, does this film, Scream 7, exist in an alternate timeline? And, I love the Halloween films, because if you look at Halloween got like 3 different damn timelines. We got Halloween, the first one, which is Halloween 1 and 2, and the sequel to Halloween 2 is actually Halloween H2O, where Laurie Strode has a son, John, played by Josh Hartnett. Then we have the alternate timeline of where she has a daughter that she gave up named Jamie Lloyd, which is a sequel to Halloween 2, which becomes Halloween 4. And I hate Halloween 5 because of the way y'all did Rachel. But nevertheless, when you did Halloween, Halloween 4 is a direct sequel to Halloween 2, where it's like Jamie Lee Curtis didn't want to come back. So they created this new character since she had a kid. She gave it up for adoption. She's in hiding from Michael, all this other stuff. That's another timeline. Then we have the David Gordon Green timeline, where it goes from Halloween, the original 1978 version, which goes directly to Halloween 2018. And don't even get me started on Halloween Ends. I'm not going to sit up here and do a whole monologue on that movie. But we have that Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. And that whole thing is a sequel to the original one, where they try to retcon and say, yes, Michael Myers and Laurie Strode are not brother and sister, whereas they play it up, the brother and sister angle in the other 2 that I mentioned. So there's 3 different timelines, but there's a bunch of different timelines, but 3 different timelines, as I said. So I'm wondering if they're going to do that with Scream. That would actually be cool. Where it's like, don't even mention that Dewey was killed in part 5. We just going to retcon that mess and then be like, how's he alive? Shut up. Don't poke the bear. Don't start asking questions. Just go along with it. And so Dewey was good, because we bad over the fact that y'all did that. I know y'all were trying to do that, I guess, to raise the stakes or whatever, or that was y'all reason to try to give a reason to no longer sideline Sydney and bring her in. But for the most part, I just hated the fact that y'all did my boy Dewey dirty like that. So I hope they just bring him in. But all the other stuff that goes on, I hope that it basically is a film where they're using AI to taunt Sydney and Gale. So it kind of makes me wonder, is if he is in fact dead, is this an AI situation where you have him coming in doing a scene where he's like AI, and this, whoever the ghost face is, killer or Urs, is using AI to harass, taunt, and torture psychologically Sydney and Gale. So those are my overall thoughts on that. And so, yeah, it'd be great to see, my favorite Dewey and everybody coming back. So, yeah, I want to hear from you guys. I know that was a long one, but look, I love the Scream franchise, and I got to break it on down the way I break it on down. But I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story in regards of that we're getting David Arquette back as Dewey Riley? And what are your overall theories on how they can insert him back into the franchise? Do you think they'll just retcon and pretend he didn't die and just have him all of a sudden show up and we in an alternate timeline like we in the MCU was a mess? Or Halloween, like I stated before? Or is it just that he could be a Force Ghost, or he could be also AI? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so we have comments, speaking of which. You said the Arquette's always going to get. Yes, they are. Oh, yeah, you was talking about Tate McRae. I said Tate McRae expecting the second weekend #1 wasn't in my cards. Well, look, she gonna have competition because Lady Gaga's Mayhem comes out on Friday. In 2 more days, it's about to be mayhem up in this bitch. I do like sports car. And yeah, I was thinking that too, because that performance and the Michael Jackson socks and shoes that she was wearing, the penny loafers with the Michael Jackson socks, it was cute. Yeah, Mikey Madison was in Scream 2022. You know what? Also, she was on this show. I think it was called Better Things with Pamela Adlon. She played her daughter. That's how far back Mikey Madison has been. Mikey been around for a while. People just now catching on, discovering her. Funko has a Scream. Oh, does it? I have to check that out. Interesting about Scream 7. Many people don't know Michael Myers mask. That's weird that people don't know that. I feel like if you watch enough documentaries and stuff, that a lot of people pretty much know that, that it was originally a Captain Kirk mask. Yes, the company of companies that is fine. Former Justin Baldoni employee filed a complaint accusing him of being a top. You know what? I'm so, like, my head hurts trying to keep up with the Justin Baldoni stuff. Hence why I don't know if y'all noticed, I have not been talking about it as much because every hour on the hour, there's always something about Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively. This will file a suit. That will file. I'm like, can you just go to court already? It's kind of like with me and Diddy. Like, I'm tired of talking about him too. But we got to talk about it. Apparently, but if there's something juicy enough that comes out of all of this, I'll be talking about the Justin Baldoni stuff. But it don't look like he's, I don't think he's gonna win. I actually liked Halloween 2018. Halloween Kills. There was moments in that movie that irritated me. Halloween Ends, I love as a standalone film, but as far as a trilogy, I don't like it. Tate also issued a 21-track digital deluxe edition set with 3 acoustic tracks of Sports Car, It's Okay, I'm Okay, and Greenlight. I have to check that out. And if it helps in any way, like I want new music. I don't want like 8 different versions of one song. And you all of a sudden tell me, oh yeah, it's 21-track re-release. I'm like, no, I want new stuff. But I also think that she needs to, after this album, she needs to take time off and really figure out what her sound is. And because she needs a little something extra. We know she's a good dancer. She's pretty. She serves sexiness and body, and she loves peeing the way that she gives. She gives big dick energy with her performance and stuff. But I need something more from her. Natural performer doesn't come to mind when I look at a Tate McRae. She's somebody who, yes, who's very technical, studied dance since she was a kid and all this other stuff. It just doesn't. I just think that she needs a little more work in trying to figure out what her overall vibe and sound is. That's a good question. If they're going to make us some type of simulation, that's why I was thinking about AI and all that stuff. Serena husband is willing to buy TikTok by him. So, you know what? If he does, I'll be here for it. I would love to see, because they said they want an American, right? So if Serena Williams' husband buys TikTok because he owns Reddit, well, he's a co-owner, but he owns Reddit, I'd be here for it. I like Serena husband. He got some sense. Mikey Madison was also, yeah, she was in that too, which is why I found it bizarre when damn, I forgot the director's name. The guy that directed Anora. When Quentin Tarantino handed him his Oscar, he said, thank you for, he basically thanked Quentin Tarantino because he said, if you didn't cast her, Mikey, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, then I wouldn't have cast her in Anora. Which always baffles me because I could have sworn he also said that if he didn't see her in Scream 5, he wouldn't have cast her. So which movie is it? Is it Quentin Tarantino? Is it Scream 5? Or is it both? So your story be changing, sir. I'm glad you won your multiple Oscars, but get your facts straight. Or your lies. Maybe it was both. I said this Blake scenario seems like a media stunt to me. Yeah, I'm over them. I'm over them people. I know Justice is losing the New York Times case, which tends to swing towards the other verdict, so Blake and Ryan might win. Well, good for them. But will they win in the court of public opinion? That remains to be seen. All right, so now we have some more Scream news. So let's get into that. So now while we was over here talking about this other stuff, I'm like, wait, what is this? Because they're showing like, I don't know, there's some new stuff that's popping up on StreamYard that I got to start playing around with. They started adding new buttons and gadgets. That's why I messed up early. You asked, was the interneting? But anyway, back into the topic. So we talked earlier about David Arquette coming back for Scream 7. We don't know in what form, but we know he's coming back. However, one person we know is not coming back, and I know there's some fans that's upset that he's not coming back, is none other than McDreamy himself, Patrick Dempsey. So now Patrick did break his silence in an interview with Variety because he was asked about it. On people want to know what happened. Why is he not coming back? After he did insinuate, and not only insinuate, but he said out his own mouth that there were negotiations being put in place that he was going to reprise his role as Detective Mark Kincaid. I don't know if he would have still been a cop. I don't know if he would have been a sheriff in the new town that he and Sydney live in, or whatever the case is. Word on the street is she owns a coffee shop. We'll see if that is actual fact when the movie comes out. But Mark, or he might be working with her in her little business, or he gave up being a cop. But he probably still got a gun around the house or whatever, something or another. But anyway, so he was asked in an interview with but because we had found out that he wasn't coming back, instead they came up with a new Mark played by Joel McHale, which some people was upset about. I was like, yeah, I was upset because I would have loved to have seen Patrick Dempsey in the film. However, I also like Joel McHale, and if things wasn't going to work out, then they, the films got to do what they got to do. Like, the show must go on is a term in Hollywood for a reason. So here's what he said. He said it just didn't work out, and we were dealing with the fires and everything that was going on, and the schedule didn't work out. Unfortunately, he lives in Malibu, and this is what he told Variety exclusively on Saturday night at Chanel and Charles Finch's annual pre-Oscar dinner at the Beverly Hills Hotel. Now, Sidney Prescott, Neve Campbell, referred to her husband as Mark in Scream 5, so fans assumed he must be Mark Kincaid. However, it was announced earlier this year that Joel McHale was playing Sidney's husband. And what people are saying is off camera that Radio Silence admitted, yeah, it's Mark Kincaid, and they were trying to bring him back. However, you know what I always say, if it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. So she just said his first name. She ain't call herself Sidney Kincaid. It didn't say, we didn't get, the phone ring, and it didn't say Sidney Kincaid on the other line when Dewey was calling her or whatever, and she was rolling down the street, jogging with the babies in the stroller. We didn't see that pop up on the phone or whatever the case is. So you can play around and change up stuff if it's not officially on record for us, and on record meaning our eyes and ears pick it all up. So there was a loophole in that where they can get around it. So I'm like, okay, because I understand industry and all this. So I was like, okay, I'll let y'all got that one. So I wasn't that mad, but he's saying scheduling conflicts, whatever the case is. Word on the street is he wanted a lot more money. He wanted to be paid about as much as Neve Campbell and I guess Courtney Cox. But here's the thing. Neve and Courtney have been a part of the franchise for well over 2 decades. Courtney Cox has made history as one of the longest running characters to exist in a horror movie franchise. She's been in all 7 films. Stabbed up, shot at, whatever you want to call it, but she survived. Talk about plot armor. But we live for Gail. So that's why I was like, you can't kill my sis off. You cannot kill off Gail Weathers, because that would really set the fandom on, ablaze if y'all did that to her. But she made history with that. And so if they want to ask for a certain amount because they bring so much to the franchise and the fandom loves these characters, then I don't think that, no shade, Patrick Dempsey, if it is true that he wanted more money for being a part of the franchise, you don't have the wherewithal and the weight to be asking for that kind of money, because you were in part 3, which some people fear as the weakest part of the franchise. And I liked you in the movie. I like seeing you in the franchise, but you don't have enough cachet, as I said, to be asking for that kind of money. But look, him not being in the film, I'm sure he feels no ways tired about it because he's in a part of another Spyglass franchise. He's the killer in Thanksgiving. The movie been out long enough. Y'all should have seen it. If y'all didn't want that spoiler, oh well, I don't know what to tell you. First of all, the movie, like I said, it been out for like 3 years or 2 years or whatever. So I'm sure y'all probably have seen Thanksgiving by now. But yeah, he's the killer, the John Carver killer. And allegedly, well, the way it was left open, he survived, so he'll most likely be in the sequel. So he kind of has his own franchise with the Thanksgiving franchise, however long that's going to last. So he can ask for how much money he wants in regards to that film because that's his personal franchise. So I get that. Whereas Scream is a whole different situation. So as I stated before, I don't feel any ways or no ways tied about the fact that he's not going to be in the franchise as Mark. I mean, as the Mark that everybody wants. I like Joe McHale. And Joe McHale's played a killer before. We don't know if he's going to be the killer in this movie, but he's played a killer. He was in what was it, Once Upon a Knife? That's on. I don't know where it is on this point. I don't know if it's still on Shudder or one of the other websites. I mean, on the other streaming services. But he was in that movie. He played the killer in that film, and that was actually a pretty entertaining movie. If y'all have not seen it, definitely check that out. But and I also feel like with everything else that's been going on, Kevin Williamson coming back is actually a good thing, and I really feel in my heart of hearts, even though he probably didn't take a credit for it, I do believe that he went in and tweaked that script because who knows these characters better than or this franchise, I should say, better than um Kevin Williamson. He created Scream. He created, which was originally called Scary Movie, and he created Sydney. He created Dewey. He created Gale. All these other characters here, they came in from other people down the road. I mean, he did create characters that was in Scream 1 and 2 and 4. Scream 3, that was Aaron Kruger. We don't count that. But and then 5 and 6 was done by, the writers behind, that worked with Radio Silence. But in addition to that, Mason Gooding actually talked a little bit back in February at the premiere of Hard Eyes, which, sidebar, Hard Eyes, if y'all have not seen it, is available on digital. So you can actually digitally purchase it. You can either rent it or buy it and watch it at home. This is that's another irritation I have with Hollywood. Y'all keep releasing these damn movies too fast. Movie came out on Valentine's Day. It's already March 5th, and movies already available to watch at home. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day, as I said. Now, he said this. He said, it feels like an amplification of what's come before, and no better indication of that than Kevin Williamson, who wrote the original, coming back now to direct. I think that Ghostface is absolutely the most brutal he's been. I don't want to spoil anything, but there's some stuff that they do to the human body that I feel like Kevin is breaking new ground with. He also said there was a prosthetic that sat in the makeup trailer that actually turned my stomach over. So the movie is going to come out on February 27th of next year. So that's 2026. Paramount Pictures is distributing with Spyglass producing. So with people always wanting to go in on Spyglass, I'm like, other people are in part of, or a part, I should say, of all of this happening. So it's not just Spyglass that y'all protesting. Y'all protesting against Paramount and everybody else with a job or trying to keep their jobs. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story regarding Patrick Dempsey not coming back as Mark? I almost forgot his damn name. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. I was like, I zoned down because I was trying to see what the heck is this. Let me see. Oh, that's something else. Let me go back. I know, because they're showing me like 2 different demos or whatever. Let me stop playing around with this stuff on the live chat and just play around with it when I'm off camera. He said, this Blake scenario seems like a media stunt. Oh, yeah, I think I read that already. Read that one too. A lot of people have called out the director for being a turd. Wait, which director? You talking about Kevin Williamson? Oh. Oh, you talking about the director of Anora? He just reaching for grapes, Hollywood. The money. Dempsey not a boss getting roles. Come off passive. Yeah, he is supposed to be. Well, I don't even know when that's supposed. When is that supposed to happen? Didn't they say they're supposed to be filming Thanksgiving too? Like, is it? Are they supposed to wrap up Scream at the end of this month? I believe this month is when they're supposed to wrap. But word on the street is there's supposed to be, there's another rumor going around that they're actually filming Scream 7 and 8 back to back, which actually I think would be smart if they did that. It's kind of like how they're doing Avengers, they're doing Doomsday and Secret Wars at the same time. So I'm like, damn, that's gonna be like a year that everybody's gonna be filming this movie if they're doing it back to back, which I think is smart. That for them to do that. You said I'm getting hard eyes tonight with the bonus features. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna purchase that movie. Did you see it? Because I remember you said you were going to the movies to see it. I hadn't heard if you actually liked it or not. I'm more of a Saw person. But that's because you into like that torture porn. But look, I like Saw too. But so the idea that I had for Saw, that I was like, what they should bring into the franchise. I was like, y'all keep talking about John and Amanda and all other stuff. And remember, they died or whatever the case is. Well, she died. And then he died from the cancer and stuff, which I always say that y'all screwed y'all shot yourselves in the foot the minute y'all decided to make John with terminal cancer. There should have been a whole remission thing that happened with him at some point when y'all realized how iconic this character was becoming. But the writers and the people over there, they shot themselves in the foot and dug themselves in a hole, and they couldn't get themselves out of it. And they probably thought they can continue to create these apprentices and not realizing that a lot of these apprentices y'all created just weren't that fun and iconic and memorable. So they had to try to create these little side quels to make it like, oh, John's still alive. But I'm just like, no. What I think is what they should do, they need to restart, get a new person, a new Jigsaw. Excuse me. And I said, go the Luigi Mangione approach. Take that. Take it like, okay, because we're in this era of oligarchy and all the other stuff. Have Jigsaw be this anti-hero that basically takes a lot of people who are ripping people off in certain dynamics, whether you're in politics, whether you're in the medical industry, whether you're in any kind of situation where you're robbing the poor to give to the rich, and you basically just killing people with your little schemes and scams, and put them in these traps. And we get to see them be tortured. I feel like that would be the perfect idea for them to go with the Saw franchise and create such an iconic character that's memorable. Then it's just like, John who? We done moved on to a new Jigsaw. So that's what y'all need. Y'all need to try to take inspiration from what's currently happening. There's so much inspiration. Well, shit, maybe I need to write it. That's why I said it's supposed. I could have sworn it said that it's supposed to start filming this month. So a Prodigy. Well, they could talk about. Yeah, it could be a Prodigy film. Rest in peace, so we can thank the lead actor's age. Well, yeah, that's because, the actor that played in Tobin Bell, he's probably got to be in his 80s at this point. He's been around for a long time. Oh, Demi's here. We haven't heard from you in a while, so I finally made it to the live chat, back and up, so I'll be behind y'all, but in the tub with my black girl Moscato. Not Moscato. First of all, my cousin drinks Moscato, and she's a woman. So, did you know Barron whispered, pack your bags to Biden at inauguration? Please. You talking about little baby Damien? Armie, give me news. That's what he gave me. That child looked like Damien from the Omen. Well, look, it's going to be two kids fighting over that Damien role. Him and Exashe 12. Y'all know who that is. That's Elon's son. The one he had with Grimes. Mm-hmm. But anyway. All right, so let's move on to more movie news. This is probably our last movie story before we get to the celebrity news and gossip. And also about the Batman. So Robert Pattinson is talking a bit more about the Batman too, because he said that, yeah, they're supposed to start filming at the end of this year, but he's sitting there saying like, y'all keep stretching this out. He said by the time I get to start shooting the Batman 2 and it comes out, I'll be 40. And I'm sitting there like, sir, you act like 40 is old. Like there's so many other actors, Keanu Reeves, Tom Cruise, Jason Statham, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, that are way older than you, probably twice your age, and they're still doing action movies. But you're complaining because you about to turn 40 and you can't, you ain't gonna be able to do the stunts required to be Batman? Hence, I'm like, if it's an issue, that's why they got stunt doubles. But Nevertheless, let's go on. So, the actor is set to reprise his role as the Dark Knight in the Batman 2, which has been in development for quite some time and is due to hit theaters in 2027. Pattinson is seemingly anxious to start filming the DC Studios movie. He said, I effing hope so. This is what he told Mickey 17 co-star Naomi Ackie in a conversation for Hero magazine about playing the Cape Crusader again. He said, I started out as young Batman and I'm going to be effing old Batman by the sequel. I'm 38. I'm old. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down with that, I'm old because you're 38, maybe because you've been in Hollywood for like a long time. So maybe you feel old because of that. He also added, he said, I'm old, but I'm healthier. I think I've actually brought my biological age down a bit. So now the Twilight alum spoke to Deadline at the London premiere of Mickey 17, where he said filming for the Batman sequel would start at the end of 2025. Now, although the actor didn't reveal plot details, he teased that it's cool. Now, the Batman, as y'all know, was released in 2022 and is now part of the DCU that James Gunn and Peter Safran are constructing, which will largely kick off with the release of Superman later this year. Now, in an interview posted in September 2024, the filmmaker told SFX magazine that he planned to shoot in 2025 as he was finishing up the script. And by the director, we're talking about Matt Reeves, which, Matt, you are taking way too long to develop this damn movie. Why the hell is it taking like 3 years or damn near 4 years for you to actually get a script together? Like, y'all don't be thinking like once you finish editing the movie and you put it out in the universe, you don't have like no plan to think in the future or, okay, well, this is the overall arc or aesthetic that we're like, this is where we want to take the franchise next. And I hope it's something different. Like I said, I hope they really do the Court of Owls. I would really love for them to take that approach. I don't want another. Well, we had the Riddler. The Riddler, his angle on that was really cool. I don't want another Joker situation. The Joker's been done to death. We already had Catwoman. There's been enough Catwomans that we've had as it is. Give Catwoman a rest. I don't want. I don't know how you would work a Mr. Freeze in this world. We are getting a Clayface movie, which I'm actually excited about. We'll see how they work that film. The director of Speak No Evil, I think it's called. The one that the remake with that came out. That's based off the European film that's on Shudder. James McAvoy was in the remake. The director of that film said that he's going to go full body horror. Like he's taking inspiration from like The Fly and most recently The Substance. And I said that is a perfect angle to go about it. I don't know who they're going to pick to play Clayface. I was actually hoping Alan Tudyk because he plays him in the animated version. But I was like, pick him. He's a good actor. And I don't know why people don't think that some animated actors are just as good as people that could be on screen, especially, just pick an aging actor that could play that. And y'all kind of play into the whole Substance, body horror, David Cronenberg type of angle with that. But in regards to this, I feel like y'all already grounded your world in realism. I don't know which kind of tone they're gonna go with The Brave and the Bold whenever the hell that movie gets made. But for the Batmanverse, since it's grounded in realism, I feel like y'all need to kind of take a different approach. I think fans are ready for a new type of villain or villains that we haven't tapped into before. Instead of doing like the greatest hits, we already, the Joker, and we got to do the Penguin. I mean, the Penguin is coming back, sidebar, because he did mention in the article as well that Colin Farrell is coming back in the film. And they said that he is the entry point to the Batman sequels and is absolutely connected to where we leave things in the series. So the filmmaker also said the Batman 2 is going to dig into the epic story about deeper corruption, and it goes into places that he couldn't anticipate in the first one. The seeds of where this goes are all in the first movie, and it expands in a way that will show you aspects of the character you never got to see. Well, since they're saying that it's going to go into deeper corruption, that's why I said the Court of Owls would definitely fit perfectly into this whole Batverse or Pattinson verse that they're doing, because of like you can fit corruption and then other type of anti-heroes and villains and all kinds of other stuff within that world that's grounded in realism. I feel like that would be a great story to approach rather than trying to go a little Joel Schumacher crazy with it. Like, we don't need bat nipples and stupid little one-liners and cartoonish colors and all the other stuff. I like the vibe of where they're going with this. So I'm definitely looking forward to this film. And I also heard this Mickey 17 movie is really good. It's been getting rave reviews, and I definitely want to see it. I like Bong Joon-ho, so his films. But I'm hearing great things about it. The only problem is people feel like it's going to flop at the box office because I guess maybe it's a little too weird and people don't get the overall vibe of it. So people are a little worried in regards of this movie's not going to do well because they can't. It doesn't look appealing, but I'm hearing it's good. Maybe it's just the marketing and the way the trailers look that it's not really pulling people in. So unfortunately, it's going to be another good movie that's just gonna flop at the box office, unfortunately. But look, at least you got a good movie that's gonna be on your resume, which what Robert Pattinson has been proving for quite some time. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to what Robert Pattinson had to say about being too? By the time you know the next Batman movie comes out, he's going to be old Batman. But at least you'll be mature and you've been hitting the ground running in Gotham City and fighting crime for so long. So we don't need that time of you having to be like, oh yeah, I'm still with the training wheels and still trying to figure things out in regards of how I'm being the Cape Crusader. You're going to be well into your stuff. So whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, you said Stallone, LOL, singing action hero. Well, look, Stallone's all of a sudden, well, he's a Trump supporter, but he probably was for a long damn time. I feel the guy is taking time to write the script and is perhaps giving him breaks just to let his brain rest. I mean, it's not easy writing a script, especially if you're a party of one. It does take a long time to develop it. Like you'll hear some people say it took me 10 years to develop. The passion script that I wanted to have, which is always good if you could bring people in, but um if there's no way you can bring people in, then it's like, yeah, I'm gonna take my time. Isn't the first one? I believe so. I hated Twilight, by the way. Yes, I want the Fly remake with Leonardo and Cronenberg. We already got a Fly remake with Jeff Goldblum. That's enough. I don't want them to ruin that movie. I feel like that's a classic enough with Jeff Goldblum and Gina Davis, and David Cronenberg directed that. So I'm like, no, let's just leave it as it is. I don't want nobody to touch it. It's such a classic. I feel like there is a way to do a real version of Poison Ivy that would be interesting. Yeah. I mean, and then it could be a non-preachy approach to the environment and climate change, and maybe they could find something to kind of maneuver that in there. Yeah, they can they can find a way to bring in Poison Ivy and ground it in reality. So I do think that there's a possibility for that. All right, so now let's move on and let's talk about Miss Demi Moore, who, according to reports, because remember, a lot of people expected that she was going to win the Oscar for Best Actress. And when they said Mikey Madison's name, a lot of people were shocked. Although, I was shocked too, because the way they set it up was like she was going to win. However, when Mikey Madison's name was called, I wasn't upset because her performance in Anora was spectacular. She's an amazing actress. Even though people are just now hearing of her, she's been around for a while. She's been acting for quite some time. It's just now her career just skyrocketed. And this movie, you know, has, given her flowers and all the things that she needs. Now, my thing with this is, yeah, she could be feeling the way she feels to me, but, and we'll get into that because they're saying like she's taking it hard that she wasn't going to win that she didn't win the Oscar because they were hyping her up to win the Oscar. Similar to, as I said the last time, what people said about Angela Bassett. Now, when Angela Bassett did not win the award for playing Queen Ramonda and they gave it to Jamie Lee Curtis for Everything Everywhere All at Once, a lot of people were shocked. And then recently, Angela Bassett came out and said that, yeah, she was disappointed. So Demi feeling this way, I feel no way sad about it. I'm like, yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, she's human. So according to page 6, they said this. Now, after winning the Golden Globe in the same category, the Substance star was really hopeful that she had secured this win. This is according to an insider, saying Demi is taking this loss very hard because she felt like this was finally her chance to take home an Academy Award. The A-list actress of 62 is thrilled for Mikey and all the other women who were nominated for this award, but of course, it was a huge disappointment not hearing her name be called. According to the insider, a ton of people came up to Demi at the Vanity Fair Oscar party to show their love and support for her work. A rep for Board did not immediately respond to Page Six's request for comment. Now, according to The Insider, a ton of people came up to Demi at the Vanity Fair Oscar party. Wait, why does it say that I'm reading the same thing twice? Okay, now in the horror film, as y'all know, or probably don't, because I don't know if any of y'all have seen the film. Demi plays Elizabeth Sparkle, a fading celebrity who comes across the black market drug that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. Now, Moore and Madison were nominated for one of the most coveted awards of the night alongside Fernando Torres for I'm Still Here, Here, Here. You know, I can't even say it with a straight face without having to quote my girl Tisha Campbell, unfortunately. Emilia Perez star Carla Sofia Gascon and Wicked actress Cynthia Erivo. Now, the Ghost star looked visibly upset and tensed her jaw when she heard the 25-year-old's name being called out over her own, per a video shared on Twitter. Now, the funny part was, I remember like when they announced Mikey's name, I did see Demi kind of turn over and she was saying something, but then the camera quickly cut to Mikey getting up there and getting her award and giving her speech and thanking, you know, all the other women in her category and that sort of thing. And like I said before, I could definitely see like why Demi would be upset, or Demi would be upset, because Demi is Lovato. Demi would be upset that she didn't get an Oscar, because yeah, the way that everybody was propping her up and hyping, yeah, you got it, in the bag, you gonna win. I mean, like, it's no guarantees. And funny part, like within the award show before the Oscars, it was sort of like it was open season. It was like an open field. Anybody could have been winning this award. It was up for grabs. Just like everybody had it hyped up that Timothée Chalamet was going to win in the Best Actor category, and then it turned out to be obnoxious ass Adrian Brody, who sat up there and decided to give a speech that felt about as long as that rambling that Trump did last night during his State of the Union. That's the way it felt to me. But then Timothy didn't get it. But look, Timothy's still young. He's going to be around for a long time. He, in my opinion, is, you know, actor wise, I feel like he is the Gen Z's equivalent to Daniel Day-Lewis. He is somebody who's going to be around for decades upon decades. I hope he don't retire, like how Tom Holland is talking. But I don't think he'll retire because I feel like acting is his passion. This is something that he's worked so hard for, you know, being a part of it, especially going to LaGuardia School of Performing Arts in Manhattan. You know, as many talented people have come out of that school. That was one of the schools I really wish I would have taken the opportunity to want to study at as an artist. But nevertheless, I never got the opportunity. But anyway, but my high school teacher was an actress, as I've told y'all before, and introduced me to a lot of things in the industry and a lot of her celebrity counterparts like Lawrence Fishburne and Flo Anthony. And I got to go on the set of New York Undercover back in the day. So it was a lot that was going on in those days. But anyway, this is not about me. It's about them. So that's the cool thing. So I would have loved to have seen Demi win. But I really feel like here's the thing we should focus on, because I know some people are saying like literally Mikey Madison winning is the exact plot of The Substance. The fact that an older model gets passed over for the shiny new young thing. And on paper, that is kind of true. However, I will say this. The real test comes post-Oscars, where you look at Demi and you see, so what's going on with her career? Like, is her phone ringing off the hook? Not even her, because it got to go through the agent before the agent brings in the pay. You know, here's a script, go look it over, see if you want to do it. We'll see if there are people, producers, writers, whatever, that are knocking down Demi's door, trying to get to her agent to be like, here's a script. We want to put her in our movie, and let's see how busy she will get post The Substance. So don't only just all of a sudden want to be a part of this situation because she got the Oscar, like y'all will be doing with Mikey Madison. And Mikey is a good actress, so she's going to be around for a long time too. But when you look at someone like Demi Moore, it's like, yeah, will her career still be going off post not, you know, her not getting the Oscar? And what other movie y'all got for her that she could be a part of that will get her the next Oscar nomination? So we'll see how all that turns out when it turns out. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of the stories about Demi feeling Like she's upset, visibly. She's very disappointed that she didn't get the Oscar. And like I said before, like to me, I feel this is no different than what Angela Bassett was feeling when she didn't get the Oscar and she thought she was going to get it. She got an honorary one, and I really hope y'all don't do me dirty like that. Like next, we're just going to give her an honorary one because we want to just, it's one of those congratulation trophies. Like everybody gets a trophy, even if you didn't do that great. I'm not saying that she didn't do great, but you know what I mean when it comes about the congratulations trophies. So yeah, that's what I'm genuinely curious about. So I definitely want to hear from you guys on this. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. All right, so we have a lot of comments. Let's get to those. You said, what about a Dark Man? I actually like Dark Man. Now we could definitely use a Dark Man reboot. Um, speaking of which, did y'all watch Dead Man? Deadpool. What the fuck? Daredevil Born Again. I was like, all of a sudden, I couldn't remember the damn name. Did y'all see Daredevil Born Again? I watched it. I literally went to bed 3 o'clock in the morning because I was up watching both episodes. It was so good. And shout out to Kamar De Los Reyes. May he rest in peace. It was good to see him back on screen. However, when I was looking at him, it was like he definitely looked like he was sick while he was filming the show. And it was definitely first 2 episodes was excellent. I'm gonna rewatch it. I'm still mad at that opening sequence. I don't want to spoil nothing if y'all didn't see it, but I'm still mad what y'all did with that. And funnily enough, Fisk, aka Kingpin, running for mayor of New York, felt very familiar. Life imitating art, based on the corruption that we got with our current mayor and the current president. So I was like, why does this feel familiar? And a lot of the stuff that's going on up in there, but so yeah, so definitely I like this stuff. The only thing that took me out from the show, like in certain parts, when it came to like Daredevil running on the rooftops and stuff, it well, besides that feeling like a scene out of The Crow, except The Crow, it didn't feel very CGI with it. It was certain parts I'm like, oh, that was a little rough. But and that's just me nitpicking from like on the visual effect aspect. But for the most part, I was like, okay, like the fight sequences, stuff that was in there with him and Bullseye, like that was great. But if y'all have not seen the movie, I mean the show, definitely check it out. They were hyping her up. She got so much praise. Yeah, they definitely were hyping up. That's why I said it sounded familiar. Like it was very much similar to what Angela Bassett went through. That's what I said. There's some people were saying that. Plus, people are saying this might be her one and only chance for Oscar win, which is why she took it so hard. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Not the shady substance. um, I wonder if her and Kanta. I mean, I'm sure they did. They're good friends. Happy 49. Look at y'all giving early birthdays. Yeah, Felix is not a Pisces. Shout out to the Pisces though. It's Pisces season. I did not realize I had so many Pisces friends until I was looking on social media today and it was letting me know the list of birthdays. I'm like, damn, I know a lot of y'all. Two of my cousins who were actually siblings and were born a year apart, a year and a couple of days apart. One of my cousins was born March 7th the following year, and her brother was born March 10th the year before. So, and so they're like a year and 3 days apart from each other, but also in the same month, which is crazy. Mama knew to win the hunch to get two Pisces baby out the same man. Funny, I share a birthday with Gaga, but I'm 10 years older. Mm-hmm. Oh, like when Trump was so. The dementia was dimensioning. Timothy getting those coins. Daniel Day is working on it. Yeah, he's working on a new film that's being directed by his son. That's I think the reason why he's come back. Reba McEntire's birthday is the same day as mine. We likes Reba. She looks like Demi 40 years ago. Yeah, like I said, it's given very much the substance. I was talking to my friend. He said it's like Demi is being punished for starring in those Brat Pack. Well, she was always never taken seriously in regards of the type of acting that was going on. So good on her. But she's always been that girl that's kind of been underestimated and treated like crap and having to deal with sexist directors and all that stuff. Child, I wouldn't be surprised. He's on one of those deeply rooted homosexuals. Mm. Come on, Pisces Moon. Y'all get to it. There's an order in which we do the show. Not a 20 plus collection. I mean, I've heard. I said somebody said that they saw the videos. I don't know if I believe it though. But I'm like, look, don't be on here on social media saying that you got the Luigi Mangione collection and you're not gonna actually let us know where we can see these videos. Although I've seen it. Well, anyway, we'll wait till we get to that topic. Okay, so now let's move on. And let's talk about Beyonce. Because apparently there's something going around stating that she is struggling to maintain her weight now that I guess she's in her 40s. But here's the thing: once you get in your 40s, trust and believe, your metabolism slows down. Like I'll be fighting trying to maintain my figure in regards of working out and all that other stuff. But yeah, your metabolism slows down when you're in your 40s. So, this is according to Radar Online, so take it as you will, and I'll give my opinion once I'm done reading what they had to say. So they said, ballooning Beyonce is wigging out over her estimated 50-pound weight gain. At the Grammy Awards, fans claim the Cowboy Carter songstress, who's 43, struggled to keep her boobs from popping out of her custom Schiaparelli dress, which they say was at least 2 sizes too small due to her recent massive and very obvious weight gain. Now, according to reports, Beyonce's 5'6" in tall frame is now tipping the scales at 185 pounds, up 50 pounds from a few years ago. Child, I cannot, but you know what? Let's stop. They said she's tipping the scales at 185 pounds. Do you know how many women, average women out in the street, would kill to have a 185-pound figure? And y'all talking about tipping the scale. Y'all act like that we dealing with Dank DeMoss, who got her ass in the front and the back. Well, y'all sitting up here thinking like Beyonce, like she breathe heavy when she walking on her stomach, come in the room 5 minutes before she do? Like she not that big. What are y'all talking about? So they said she is aware that she put on a lot of weight and she hates it. She's desperate to keep up with the young hotties and squeeze into a dress that was clearly too small for her, and it backfired. This year's Grammys, then they added and said this year's Grammys was supposed to be her crowning moment of glory. Instead, she was a laughing stock. She used to be proud of her curves, but now they're a little more filled out than before, and they're giving her grief. Who are these people they talking to? Because when was she a laughing stock? I don't think I heard, or am I hearing things? I didn't hear nothing about people being mad over Beyonce being a big girl. And I did not see where was she fat? Hold on, I think I may have a picture, or maybe I don't. I thought I had a full-fledged photo of her, and I could have sworn I did put that in there. Oh, yeah, I did. I don't know what happened to it. But I had the full silhouette of the way she was dressed. Now, I did not think that she was fat when I looked at her. For sure, then when you look at certain pictures of her, she did look a little thick. I mean, didn't she come out with a song, Ass Getting Thicker? I mean, she been writing songs, It's That Jelly Baby. So what y'all mad about? She's a thick girl. She's black. She's got hips. She's got ass. I know a lot of you clear folks got to go out and buy y'all ass and hips and thighs because a lot of y'all can't grow it naturally. Although now I hear like the whole Kardashian grift with that whole silhouette. People are trying to no longer want to come out here looking like trans women anymore. So now women are trying to look a little more natural with their figures. So I guess the whole Kardashian trans woman look is kind of on the outs. Beyonce's figure is natural. I don't know where they keep talking about. They said that they gain weight even eating the same amount of food. The Florida-based doctor said that stress could be a factor, saying that many people, when they're under great stress, become less active to eat more. Well, maybe that stress was coming from the fact of Jay-Z getting accused of SAing a child 20 years ago at a post-VMA after party. So maybe that's where her stress came from. And then on top of that, she has a tour coming up, I think next month, right in April. If this turns out to be true, which I highly doubt it, Beyonce ain't feeling no waist size. She can go and she's going to hit the gym. She's probably hitting it now because she's going to be up on that stage. She got to be able to keep her stamina up for how long ever this Cowboy Carter tour is going to be. You know, how many hours she's going to be up there? Maybe 2, sometimes 3. Because wasn't the Renaissance tour like 3 hours damn near? So She knows what she's got to do, and Beyonce is disciplined enough where she gonna get that body snatched. Now, in regards to her always having to maintain a certain figure and be skinny or whatever, I don't think she cares about all that because Beyonce just be in hiding 9 times out of 10. The only time she come out the house is when there's an award show or when she got to go on tour. But other than that, we don't never see her out in these streets and know what's going on. So she don't really have to be out here all of a sudden walking around with her vagina hanging out her breast like you had Sherry Shepherd SpongeBob shaped ass on her damn channel trying to read the red carpet girls at the Grammys for being like, oh, these little girls are looking up to you. I have to be Auntie Sherry, right? The girl ain't my ass you and your non-existent neck to get up here and try to be Auntie Sherry and talk about what these girls is wearing. Because parents, y'all need to be parents to y'all damn kids instead of telling people what they should be out here wearing. Whether Beyonce wear her outfit, her titties spilling out, and she 10 sizes too big for the outfit that she got on, or, you know, once performer or Zoe Kravitz or Doja Cat want to walk around with their breasts exposed or their ass cheeks hanging out. These little girls, this goes to show that Sherry don't get out much. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I was working that damn Jingle Ball, the amount of half naked little girls I was seeing up in there, and their parents was okay with it. It ain't got nothing to do with influence and seeing what these girls is wearing. The parents got to step up and be a parent to their children. So we're not going to sit up in here and put it off on children, especially when last time I checked, you only pushed out one child. And last time I also checked, that child got a dick between their legs and not a coochie. So you can't sit up in here and tell somebody what they need to be doing in regards to how they should be raising their kids. But of course, you get these uppity conservative ones who I'm sure were dressing like those girls were on those red carpets when they were kids. All of a sudden, y'all got short-term memory loss and want to act like y'all are all prim, proper, and angelic and Mary Poppins, perfect in every way. Get off my line with that. So in regards to this whole situation, I don't know where all that Sherry Shepherd shade came from. But in regards to all of that, Beyonce, you look fine. The curves is curving. Those of us who are used to being around women of color, we know what it is. You did not look like a big girl. The body's going to fluctuate, hormones, things, they all start to do what they do. And y'all trying to act like the chick is a damn porker. So these people out here running around with this foolishness, get off my line with this BS. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to Radar Online with their stupidity? Acting like that, Beyonce running around here like she Dank the Moss. Now, I know I've been saying that name for those of you who don't know who Dank the Moss is. She the big bitch that couldn't get in the lift. And with somebody she was suing them. Now she told me she want to make sex toys out of her fupa, which I'm sure she probably ain't seen since she was pushed out of her mama's fupa. And now you out here posing in half naked lingerie where you got like 8 stomachs and your ass is in the front and the back. So y'all making it seem like that she literally looked like something out of the Blob. Beyonce is fine. Y'all just doing too much, and clearly Radar Online needs a story because it's a slow ass news day over there in their neck of the woods. So I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay. Robert says it's a distraction to destroy him. I don't believe it. They know we're on his side. When did she gain weight? She looked just that's what I said. I was like, what the hell y'all looking at? Y'all clearly just making up stories because y'all bored. It sounds like something from Star Mac. Well, it's Radar Online, so they just as trashy and sleazy as Daily Mail. Although I'm thoroughly entertained by some of the gossip they say over there at the Daily Mail. But when they start getting their whole bag where they try to weaponize certain words like woke, then I gotta come in and cuss their ass out. Them old shit. You know how the Brits are. Y'all ain't exempt from getting red either. And it said a side or two smaller helped you look snap. I mean, that's what I always said. Like, you want to be up on a red carpet looking like you suffocating, or you grasping for air, and that your breast is all up to your neck. Have they never looked at like the times of like Amadeus when the girl's boobs was all the way up here? And they were pulled, tight with the corsets and all that other stuff. Like the rumor always they had a rib removed, which I don't believe that. That's an ongoing joke. But the way that they used to do the outfits back then, it was the same thing. It gives the illusion that they're smaller. You know whose outfit I absolutely loved at the Oscars? I loved Halle Berry's look and the hair too. So, yeah, I was like, the way they were trying to come up in here and read her on her weight, I was like, shut up. Karan says the entertainment industry is brutal, especially to older women. It's a young people industry. They're not so kind of them either, but yeah, I get what you mean. Why you mad though? Why you mad though? It's giving jealousy. Of course it is. Yeah, like when Madonna got the Kardashian ass, it looked so it damn sure it literally looked like she had on one of them fake booty those butt pads. Like, remember the first episode of Queer as Folk when Michael went home with that man that was trying to pursue him and he kept touching his booty. And then when Brian found out that Lindsay had the baby and that man he was taking out the fake penis print and he took out the fake butt and all the other stuff. That's what it was giving with Madonna. All I will say is I remember her hair dye commercials with L'Oreal. No, and L'Oreal never touched her scalp. Child, don't even get me started on that. Not even that. But Beyonce with her own hair products. I'm like, girl, nobody's buying. Like, you trying to all of a sudden come out like you relatable with these products. Ain't nobody buying it. You've spent your entire career trying to shroud yourself in misery. Now you trying to all of a sudden, 20 years later, act like you of the people. It's just going to be hard for people to believe that, okay, I need to buy Beyonce fragrance. I need to buy Beyonce liquor. I need to actually buy Beyonce hair products. Well, quiet as it's kept, everybody be saying you be wearing a lace front. So it's not believable. And it's not even with her. It's been so many of them be up in there. Yeah, this luxurious hair and something like, sis, that is all tracks. Your hair really ain't like that. And I'm not just talking about her. I'm talking about the Jennifer Lopez's. I'm talking about the Kardashians. I've been talking about all of them. They be wearing extra stuff in their hair trying to act like it's theirs. Remember Kenya Moore hair care? They was going in on it too. Sidebar, I've been seeing Portia running around a lot lately promoting the Housewives of Atlanta. Do anybody care about this upcoming season? I know they even dropped a sneak peek at the upcoming season, and they just want to give us all this aesthetic of Shamia's house. I don't care about no tight-ass Shamia. I don't even care about Atlanta Housewives, but I will say this. I will watch the first episode, because I think it comes out this weekend. I'll check it out, but I don't care. I'm over it. Unless y'all bring Nene back, I don't care. Shit, even though I don't like her, bring back Kim too. At least she was entertaining. I like what Sherry said about Megan saying dressing like that is why girl. She wishes she was SA'd, or is that like wrong to say? Yeah, I see 13 to 15-year-old girls in malls, basically. And, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm sitting there at Jingle Ball, and I'm looking at girls out here. One girl was walking down the street, and I was leaving work. Had her whole ass out, skirt short as hell, her whole cheeks. I'm like, do this child got panties on? And walking with her parents, and her parents ain't said a word. But I'm looking at all these grown ass men looking at, and I'm feeling like I need to be her father and step in like jailbait, like how my mother used to do my sister back in the day. Every time them boys would look at my sister, I mean, them grown ass men would look at my mother, be like jailbait, jailbait, like she'd be ready to fight. That's what happens when you grew up in Brooklyn. But my mother was ready to fight. And I'm sitting there like, where, like, my child would not leave the house where I'm like, girl, why is your whole coochie out? Like, who you trying to get piped down with at Jingle Ball? You are not leaving my house looking like that. I don't care. I will literally become the Pope when it comes to my kids. So my kids ain't walking, my daughters ain't walking out the house half naked, and my sons ain't walking out the house half naked either. Although I know some people be like, it's a double standard or whatever. I mean, guys don't really walk out the house half naked. I mean, they'll wear like a white beater and sweats. I mean, some people wouldn't consider that bad. But I'm not seeing his ass. Now, if my son was out sagging, I definitely would say something about that. Oh, you better pick them pants up. That is true. She could have took Ozempic shell. Everybody else was taking it. Just like when I saw her screaming for Hudson yesterday, I was like, she looked good. Somebody said that she's pregnant. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. She ain't look pregnant when I saw her, but she looked good with her little high bun. Every woman does go through this. As I said, weight fluctuates. What people talk about? Yeah, Fubatoid. Yeah, she's coming out her own coochie line. I'm like, sis, nobody want that. What you need to do, like, if you want to get the experience of what it like to be in her vagina, get yourself a bungee cord and jump off a cliff into some water. There you have it. There's your experience of getting in Dank the Moore's pussy. Just go bungee jump off the nearest cliff where there's water at the bottom. It's sad how desperate they are to take Beyonce image. And yes, they are. And they have nothing on her. So the best thing they could talk about is her being fat, where she wasn't. Yeah, I was living for that look. The mirrors and stuff on the front, and then the way her hair was, I was just like, yeah, she looked, hell, it looked good. I'm like, and black don't crack because she still looked the same. Karen at Cell Block H. You know what I was thinking of? I was thinking of Cell Block 13, the underwear line. I mean, they have a clothing line too. I don't have kids for a child. That's what I was saying. It's like I'll be ready to windmill these old perverts out here. That's my generation for you. Some that are college age with lingerie, silk pajamas to go to frat parties. Here's another thing I don't get: people that be walking around in the street in they damn pajamas too. Like, where is the effort in y'all getting dressed? Like, when I was growing up, there was no you had to go outside and you was in your pajamas. Now, if I was outside in my pajamas and a hoodie, I was going to the deli to get me a sandwich, or I was going outside around the corner to Dunkin' Donuts to pick up my coffee. Other than that, if I'm going out in the street, I'm putting an effort to actually look halfway decent. I don't understand you girls that be getting on planes and your damn bonnet on your head, or going out to the club in sweats. Like, even the dudes, I'd be like, dress up. Nobody takes the effort and actually wanting to look good anymore. Or maybe it's that my generation didn't teach it, but that's your fault. I would wear pajama bottoms my whole senior year. They wouldn't say anything to us about. Yeah, that's why I was like, how y'all going outside wearing pajamas to school or whatever? I mean, and wherever. And it's kind of like a little kid wearing like a SpongeBob onesie and still having a binky in their mouth. That's what that's giving. But that's just me. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk about the story of the hour, Luigi Mangione, the moment y'all been waiting for, because apparently y'all want to talk about this little boy out here with sex tapes. But here's the thing. When they went and brought up this story, wasn't there always rumors going around that he had some videos or something or another that he had recorded? Like, this is old news. So, but apparently, like I said before, it must be on a slow news day, because this is another story from Radar Online that I saw Daily Mail picked up. And so they're talking about it. So it says the 26-year-old Ivy League graduate has amassed a loyal fan base behind bars, with women reportedly throwing themselves at him, not just women, yeah, as he faces charges for allegedly shooting dead United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Now, an insider has told Radar Online about Mangione's life before he was locked up, revealing there are at least 20 videos of him having sexual relations that he filmed and wanted to be watched. Saying, quote, it wasn't just some grainy it wasn't just some grainy late night mistake. It was perfect lighting, everything, the insider claimed. He wanted to be watched. He got off on it. There are at least 20 videos of him having sex. The person went on to say a lot of the girls are too afraid to come forward or tell anyone for fear they might get dragged into his case somehow. Well, how'd they get their hands on this, by the way? Now, they said Mangione was the subject of widespread manhunt after Thompson was powwowed on the street of Manhattan in the early hours of December 4th while attending a conference. In the weeks that followed his arrest, key details about Mangione's sex life and health battles were made public. He had posted on his Twitter about having a pretty huge dick, which I've seen. And I'm like, okay, I see what you're working with, sir, in response to a post asking if anyone on the platform had a PhD. It also emerged that he had suffered a back injury so severe that he was unable to have sex, according to his former roommate. Now, RJ Martin had lived with the suspect for 6 months at a Hawaii co-living space and told the New York Times of his secret agony, saying he knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible. I remember him telling me that, and my heart just breaks. He added that Mangione had a back condition called spondylolisthesis. Child, I know I butchered that, but it was a long ass word. SPONDYLOLISTHESIS. So spondylolisthesis. Lolisthesis. Whatever. Can y'all ever come up with a word that's not going to be a tongue twister? But that's his medical jargon for you. If I was on, how many times if I was like a medical actor, I would have to practice saying these words just so that way it rolls off the tongue and I don't get tongue tied during the 50 takes it would take me to get that word. But anyway, so they said that yes, the condition was worsened by a surfing accident, saying his spine was kind of misaligned. He said his lower vertebrae were almost like a half inch off, and I think it pinched a nerve. But the new insider, who has shared about his sex tapes, said that he would often record himself in the act and would also share nude pictures of himself with women he knew, saying people thought he was this misunderstood genius, but he was filming everything like he was starring in his own private porno empire. He wasn't just reckless, he was putting on a show, and now the show is over. And at the time of his arrest, Mangione has been on the run for 5 days, blah, 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 so on and so forth. We don't need to go into the details, really other stuff. But I feel like this is just a smearation of his reputation. I'm like, y'all call it, oh my God, it's so blasphemous that he would come out with a sex tape. Most people will call it Wednesday. Okay, because I'm like, who at this point doesn't have home videos they record on their iPhone, whatever the case is? How many of his generation doesn't have an OF or a JFF if you're homosexual or any other app? Even who is it? Hugh Hefner's son, I heard, is coming out with a app similar to OF and JFF. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I did cover this story on my website about a month ago, and basically saying like how some people can get how like performers will get a bigger cut than they get from that, versus how much money and percentage that is taken from like your OF accounts and all the other stuff. Because I hear like this, it's a migraine dealing with a lot of the rules over there at OF. But nevertheless, and I didn't understand this. They were shady for this. They wanted to compare him to Patrick Bateman. First of all, I know like people like Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, but it's a bit of a stretch. And I'm talking about, damn, what the hell is it? I almost forgot his freaking Pedro Pascal and Fantastic Four type of stretch. That's the kind of stretch that I'm thinking. Were y'all trying to compare him to Patrick Bateman? Patrick Bateman, there was likable stuff about him. He was an arrogant prick. Luigi, as much as people wanted to say, oh, he's a killer, and he's this, he's that. I totally get why he did what he did. And now that we are officially living in an oligarchy, because people keep talking about, oh, we're about to end up in this. No, we're here. Take what this administration is doing. So we are in this shit now. Trust and believe. So for these people trying to paint it all like, oh yeah, well, you don't have to worry and da-da-da. No. Be afraid, be very afraid, because buckle up, buttercup. We're about to go through hell for these next 4 years. So for y'all to try to compare Luigi to Patrick Bateman, it's some BS. The way y'all trying to smear him by trying to slut shame, it's tired, it's tacky, it's delayed, and I guarantee you them same people over there at Radar Online and at the Daily Mail who's trying to all of a sudden think because they can't get nothing on Luigi, and because the fact that Luigi has more fans than foes, and the only people that are really going in on Luigi are the corporate cannibals that align themselves with the BS over there, that 1%, and the people that think that one day they're going to get to be a part of that, it's not working. So people don't feel like, and quiet as it's kept, when you go to my page over on social media and I posted this article, how many people are sitting up out here, they want to see the videos. They don't care about the fact that, oh yeah, he pow this CEO. They like, where the videos at? Let me see. Somebody find the link. Somebody send me the video. I want to see him in action. And Luigi is hot. And these horn dogs out here, they want to see him laying pipe, whether it's with a girl, well, they said it's girls, but I'm like, if he did with some boys, child, you know how much money that boy would make? If he wasn't in this situation, he was over here doing S tapes with, someone of the same gender. So for them up in here trying to, smear his name and all this other stuff, I just think it's stupid and it's tired. And if this is a way for y'all to try to act like that this is going to ruin his case or whatever the case is, I just feel like maybe y'all just need to reach a little deeper and try to find a way to come at him, because your little stunt ain't working. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? Have y'all heard anything about these sex tapes from Luigi? Have you seen them? I mean, I've seen the photos. I've had people send me pictures of Luigi in a selfie, erect. And how you doing, sir? I have nothing else to say on this. But I like what I saw. I was like, okay, young man, I like a little Italian sausage. Yeah. So I definitely want to hear from y'all. Let me know what you guys think of this story. And also, if y'all actually happen to see the videos, let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so enough of me being a whore. Let me see these comments. Um, sale member says no one have class. Like I understand for comfortability, but be presentable. It's like when I drove past my university city, there was a guy on his way to his college class in PJs. I did that when I was in high school, but college is more, yeah. And it's like, it's not only that, but it's like the Crocs too. I was like, remember once upon a time when Crocs was actually used to like, you wear them when you, if you work at like food and even in the medical industry. So, but now it's like, it's fashion. Not me, girl. They keep making Luigi look more and more sympathetic instead of because it's like they're so out of. It just goes to show they're so out of touch with what the people are actually about and what we want. So apparently not. They said no man for man, because remember those stories was coming out that allegedly he was into dudes. I mean, he probably is, because and like I said, who at this point who doesn't have videos of themselves recording not only with themselves but with other people, and they record it on their phones and they post it up on either their Twitter, their OF, their JFF, that sort of thing. There's a lot of people out here, especially of Luigi's generation, that has that. So for them to sit up here and try to slut shame, it's like, y'all was so late with that. But anyway, they say haven't even presented the defense with the evidence, plus the HBO show FI. Oh, I didn't watch that foolishness. I think Robert was asking me. He's like, "Did you see?" I said, or was it Felix? One of y'all asked me, "Did I see the Luigi Mangione documentary?" I was like, "I ain't watching that shit," because I already know exactly what they're gonna give with that story. So I was like, "I'm not entertaining the foolishness. I already know where y'all going with that, especially with these corporations and the type of angles they be trying to take with that." So I wasn't engaging in the buffoonery. So I was like, "I'm not watching. I don't care enough to watch." So I already have my mind made up about Luigi. I've watched enough YouTubers who understand why Luigi, like, are interested in pointing out both sides. And yeah, you should be out here taking nobody's life. However, I understand the drastic measure. Or sometimes you have to take drastic measures in order for people to wake up. And then people like, well, what did he solve? He's in jail. The man dead. What did he solve? The conversation about the salvation of it is the conversation of people having about how BS our medical system is, our healthcare system is, and the fact that these insurance companies are ripping people off and killing people. And now it's about to get worse. So that's the conversation. We have to keep it going. I'm not saying we got to go out here and take the lives of every CEO, but there's other ways we can go about it. That apparently, according to him, allegedly, that was his way of having to deal with this situation. Some people don't even think they got the right person. They keep trying to frame him, but as far as I can tell, it seems like a smear. The whole thing looks like they set that poor boy up. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Just like it kind of feels similar to a certain plot point in episode 2 of Daredevil. Like I said, if y'all haven't seen it yet, I don't want to give nothing away. But it kind of feels like something with that, with the cops and this sort of thing, and people trying to set a certain character up and that sort of thing. So it kind of gives that vibe. I use Crocs as the shoes I wear around. Yeah, I only wear Crocs around the house too. Um, I don't wear them anymore. Or if I'm taking my dogs for a walk or whatever, that's the only time you'll see me in Crocs. Other than that, I stay in my Jordans and my Doc Martens. Crocs and onesies. It's like they're having it's like they're trying various ways to set. Exactly. Because their first attempt was to try to shame him for his secret sex life with black men. Oh, child. And who doesn't like black penis? You know how many Italian boys love black dick? Trust and believe. Well, you would know too. We both from New York. Them Long Island boys and Staten Island boys, child. The stories I can tell y'all. I told you, like a lot of those boys that I grew like when Jersey Shore first came out, I was like, I know the Snookies and the Paulie D's and the Vinnies, and so I grew up around that. So that's familiar territory. It said, how about they, how out of touch they have to be to get the picture? Exactly. They are definitely out of touch. But a lot of these corporate people are out of touch. SNL is out of touch as well, but the audience rooted for him during the weekend update. And oh, and it's SNL's on NBC, so yeah, of course they're out of touch. Who owns these networks? An oligarch. Girl, I would let it. You said I would let not hit it from the bike. All right, Funky Dineva. It says someone said a Rage Against the Machine song that described Generation Z about being promised everything in life, only have the rug swept from them. Well, Zach De La Roca and that whole group, they definitely was speaking a lot of stuff that was going on in them days, and yeah, it's still prominent. It goes to show that we've changed, but not by much. Sexuality manifests in multiple ways across forms. Absolutely. That was like this whole conversation I got into on social media. Damn, where is it? Because there was this post that apparently it got a lot of people up in arms and they were ready to call him he bisexual. And I'm like, can y'all not put words in that man's mouth? But I don't know if I still have it. First of all, did y'all see that Azealia Banks tweet that she put out where she read Nicki Minaj? Now that shit was funny. Let me see if I still got it. I don't know if I no, that was the one where I was reading about. Oh wait, hold on. Is this I got it. It was on Reddit. So this guy said, I'm a straight dude with a fetish for dick. Can anyone else relate? Said, don't get me wrong, I'm not actually gay. I'm just a straight dude with a fetish for dick. Every now and then I get a craving for some dick, especially when I see a night. You know what? I need to start doing like a Dr. Ruth section on this. That's what I need. Make sure rest in peace. Maybe I need to start doing those, especially when I see a nice, thick, juicy looking dick to suck on. I wouldn't mind sucking a dude off and maybe would let him penetrate me, but that's about it. Is there any other straight dudes on here that can relate? How do you guys feel? So I posted that right online. And of course, it started a specific debate where people was up in there talking about, well, why they keep with the biracial? He's bisexual. He did. I'm like, here y'all go, putting y'all labels on stuff. He said that he's straight. That is how he identifies. However, he has a craving for penis. Now, if every now and again he want to put a penis in his mouth and his butt, why do we have to sit and put a label? Well, you gay, or you this, or it's bisexuality is a gateway to this. I'm like, he didn't disrespect the gay community. He didn't disrespect anybody in these other situations. However, y'all coming in and trying to put all these labels on him and say he's this and he's this and he's this. That's not what he said. And nobody in there is erasing his bisexuality. Nobody's doing any kind of bi erasure. So I don't even know where they got that from the post. I said, with me, I take people as they are. Until you tell me otherwise, if you say that you want to fuck a tree, go ahead and fuck that tree. Make sure you don't get no splinters, but go ahead and slide your peen up against that tree if that's what you want to do. I wouldn't do it. I don't like it rough like that. If I'm going to do it rough, I need some flesh. Nothing that's going to get me, char my ding-a-ling. But that's what it is. Let me just not keep going there with that because I'm just like digging that hole further and further. But for the most part, I'm just like, look, live and let live. When he ready to come out and put a label on something, and why do we always have to put labels on people? Why people just can't be themselves? Why they can't just be fluid and like what they like? As long as you're not hurting nobody. I said the media slams us for siding. Wait, the media slams who? You said us for siding with us? Or you talking about the U.S.? His beauty truly protect. Yeah, and one thing that's irritating me about the whole Luigi thing is the fact that I'm so sick and tired of certain people in my timeline whenever I post something about him. But if he wasn't attractive, y'all wouldn't be feeling this way. I was like, well, no, if you want to be vapid in that way, you can go ahead. But me, that's not how I roll. That's not how I operate. I don't go around thinking like, oh, just because somebody's attractive, that excuses their behavior. I understand why he did what he did. Yes, being attractive helps, but that's not the only reason why I get why Luigi did what he did to that CEO. And you would think these other heifers will wake up, but when they all basket in their money and they feel like we here and y'all all the way down there, they don't feel no way side. The Republicans are dragging the judge in the Supreme Court that's a female as whatever. They're going to try to come up with some stupid name. That just read her, but girl, keep it up. Diddy Mangione and that crypto king sound like a script waiting to happen with somebody being rotten. Bankman fried. Bernie Madoff. You can't make. I almost forgot about Bernie Madoff. Maple trees got. Well, that is true. Kelly says, "When's because the what? Because of what I said. When it was like, for some people, it's y'all talk about the sexy thing. For some people, it's Wednesday. It's like, how's it different than any other day? So But anyway, where we going? All right, so let's move on to our next topic and let's talk about Lady Gaga, who is about to go head to head yet again with Katy Perry, because apparently they're doing both. They're doing two live shows separately, but on the same day. So it's about to be mayhem up in here. So now, in a nostalgic echo of their 2013 single releases, Katy Perry and Lady Gaga are slated to perform in Mexico City on the same night. Now, Katy's Lifetimes tour includes a sold-out show on April 26th, which coincidentally clashes with Gaga's newly announced surprise concert ahead of her upcoming album. Now, fans of Katy Perry and Gaga are describing it as raw versus applause all over again. The two fan favorite singers released their respective singles in August of 2013, igniting a notable pop culture moment. Now, both tracks were leaked online before their official release dates, leading to strategic adjustments in their launch plans. While Katy released Raw on August 10th, Gaga's Applause was released on August 12th. The simultaneous release caused discussion and comparisons between the two musicians, and it was without a doubt a big pop culture moment, impacting early leaks and artists' strategies. Now, fast forward to 2025, where fans are restarting the discourse between the two artists as they are set to perform on the same day in Mexico City. Now, Katy is currently touring the world. I don't even know if she started the tour yet. With the Lifetimes tour, the singer had two sold-out dates in Mexico City, including April 26th. Gaga made a surprise announcement yesterday, revealing that she would be performing her long-awaited album Mayhem on the same day, even before the release of the project, saying, "Viva la Mayhem, we're coming back, Mexico City. Estadio GMP Seguros." April 26th, Gaga wrote on social media. Following the announcement, online users pointed out that some fans, here it come, immediately, I'm trying not to laugh, started to resell their Katy Perry tickets. Quote, the CDMX Arena has just over, well, it said a little over, 22,000 maximum capacity, whereas Estadio GMP Seguro has about 60K for concerts. So theoretically, Gaga, with one show, will play in front of almost as many people as the three Katy dates combined. One person wrote, making a comparison between the two shows. Well, damn, if she's doing 60K, is she doing a stadium? Whereas sounds about right. Katy Perry's doing a arena. Like Katy ain't doing no stadium. I mean, unless she would do the same spot that Madonna and now Gaga's doing in Brazil, but she already did the Rock in Rio thing. They said at best, Katy will only sell a max of 23,000 seats at her smaller arena. Gaga is playing in Mexico. Oh, yeah, so she is doing a stadium. So I said Gaga is playing in Mexico City's largest stadium. Shout out to the Mexicans. Because y'all got it lucky over there with this. They said another fan commented, while the two singers have yet to comment on the situation, online users are already bringing back the war versus applause discussion that started in 2013. So, yeah, they have all of this stuff that's going on, and it looks like Gaga is going to be the big winner in this. But here's the thing. Me personally, if I had to choose between the two, I would definitely go to Gaga. Because here's the thing. One of the things you can say what you want about Gaga, that she copies, that she basically just takes a lot from other people that already existed, all the other stuff, be it Madonna, be it Bjork, be it Curly, be it any other artist that came that's down deep in the underground, that she took their sound and their visuals, whatever the case is. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about that. However, one of the things you cannot take away from Gaga that you could probably put over her versus Katy, Gaga is one of the most prominent performers of her time and generation. So she definitely gives you a show. She goes there, plays the piano. She engages with the audience. She literally throws her whole heart, soul, blood, sweat, and tears into what she does. So I'm not even going to take that away from her as a live performer. I've seen Katy Perry perform live, and I have been less than impressed. So if I was y'all, I would definitely resell them tickets to see bland ass Katy Perry and go and be a monster for a day. Go see her in Mexico City. Get y'all little gothic outfits, whatever y'all want to, whatever regalia thing that you're going to do, similar to what Beyonce did with the Renaissance, where y'all had y'all silver. Y'all figure out what kind of overall look y'all want to do, whether it's a red little latex look, which I don't know. It might be a little too hot for that in Mexico City, but or a little black. Well, that might be hot too, because black is hot. So whatever y'all want to go and wear with pride. Go to Mexico. Go see Lady Gaga. You ain't really gonna be missing nothing with Katy Perry, quiet as it's kept. So I would. That's basically would be my choice. And to me, I feel like with so many songs that Gaga has, and I could definitely see like she's gonna really give you a show. Like I just don't know what we're gonna expect, but I do feel like she's got a lot of really cool ideas up her sleeve that she's gonna be bringing to the limelight on the live stage. So I would. So if I was y'all, yeah, I would definitely go for that instead of, excuse me, all the other stuff. So yeah, I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of, yeah, it seems like they are both performing on the same day. Gaga's doing a stadium. Because now at this point, yeah, Gaga does stadiums. I wonder if she's going to do a stadium tour in the United States, because that would be actually cool too. Like, where's she going to perform? I hope she does City Field again. Don't delay Beyonce, because Beyonce is fucking Jersey. I'm like, why are you in Jersey? Especially when you got a lot of New York fans. I would love to see. I'm definitely curious of what her U.S. tour is going to look like, or when Gaga's actually going to do a proper U.S. tour again, and where she's going to go. If she's going to do arenas, or is she going to do? If I was her, I would definitely go back to the whole arena thing. Like stadiums, yeah, it's cute or whatever, but it feels a little more intimate if she could do an arena, but just do maybe multiple dates. Maybe do like what Dula Peep's about to do at my job at the Garden, 4 days. Gaga could do 4 or 5 days or whatever at the Garden. Definitely sell it out. The children will come and support her and all that other stuff. So, what do you guys think of this story in regards of Gaga versus Perry? And who do you think is going to win in this whole live performance off when it happens next month in Mexico City? So, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Okay. You said Katy is toast. Okay. Um, guilty. Oh, that you gonna be selling them tickets? You said Team Gaga applause. Okay. Oh, you talking about guilty that you got yourself little videos? I think you watching back the Luigi stuff and then responding in the comments. But Team Gaga hashtag applause. Okay. Katy and Gaga also performed at Harris rallies on the same. Oh yeah, I forgot they did that. Kelly is just a cackling. It said this is shady of Katy at an all-time career low. Gaga clearing this. Well, though I think this might not be Katy's fault at this part. And this is the only time I'm actually side with her. Katy already had these dates picked. Gaga is the one that just recently announced it. So then again, it's like you never know. Maybe she had these dates. They both had these dates planned. The fact of the matter is, Gaga just now announced it. But I'm starting to think that Katy had all these already available. She's doing an arena, and Gaga's like, "Well, look, bitch, I'm doing stadiums while you still doing smaller venues." Which I don't know why people kind of think like your level of status is based on like the arenas or stadiums and stuff. Madonna's whole tour was done in small theaters when she did Madame X. So I don't think it doesn't matter, and her status eclipses the both of them. So it shouldn't matter in regards of like arena versus stadium, whatever the show, if the show fits whatever it needs to fit for you thematically. I don't feel no ways doubt about you possibly doing like, okay, I want to do 3-4 nights in an arena tour. We could do that. Not steak versus hamburger. And we already know who's giving steak. Okay. Stephanie's giving steak. And Katy is giving Burger King. Not Katy playing at taco stand. What? Taco, burrito. Yeah, we don't have a hint of a Lopez story today. Not taco truck. Katy Polly Pockets. Okay. I wonder what Katy did to deserve all this. Do we have time to go down what Katy did? Do we have time to, this show ain't, look, got a whole lot more topics to get to. I don't have time to break it down. Y'all know why she getting all this hate, because she's not a nice person, allegedly. That's what I've been hearing. And then on top of that, the Dr. Puke Association. That's what she did. When you decide to align yourself with an alleged rapist and didn't Kiki, wasn't being very sisterly to Miss Kesha, now you see why your career is where it is. And then you refuse to evolve as an artist. So there's that. I'm not sure they have the right. Yeah, that's what I said. I will say, Kelly's still watching back of the Luigi video. It said she's over super commercial, which makes her. Yeah, she definitely gives like there's no kind of. There's nothing there. Team Gaga, even though Miss Thing is playing Tel Aviv for two. Well, didn't Jennifer? Speaking of damn, I wasn't gonna mention her, but since you brought it up, didn't Jennifer Lopez just play Tel Aviv? Hence, where they said that her makeup art or hairstylist, the one that Kylie Jenner just paid the funeral cost for, and all the other stuff, didn't she just do Tel Aviv and then he died or something or another out there, or was that something else? Was that not Tel Aviv, or am I thinking oh my God, why am I drawing a blank? And I literally see them in my head. The Muslim situation begins with a T. Why am I having a blank? You said Chromatica Ball is on Max for 7. Well, yes, that's why I saw the Chromatica Ball. Yeah, but you're talking about Tel Aviv. That's Israel. But I was thinking of oh my God, I'm drawing a blank. You said got Quello concerts. Oh yeah, I forgot there is a website that has like concerts that you can watch. Something, child. First of all, is YouTube. Like YouTube has a whole bunch of concerts over there. I just saw a recent one with Fever Ray that was really good. They just posted a whole concert with her up there, or them, because I think they go by they them pronouns. But anyway. Okay, y'all. Let's move on. Let's talk about Miss Aubrey. O'Day. We got a lot of topics today. So she recently was on The Masked Singer. Is The Masked Singer over? Because I heard they said she was the winner. But I don't know, because I have not watched The Masked Singer in like, I don't know how many seasons they got, but I think I watched maybe like the first 2 seasons and I just like had a life, so I moved on. Or life happened, because I told you I moved around like a gypsy a lot of times. So I really wasn't like keeping up with a lot of TV shows. But anyway, so she threw a little shade at the diddler when she was revealed on making of The Masked Singer that she was the aunt. And she made references to the diddler, amid the misconduct allegations that's against him. So Aubrey O'Day, who's 41, shot to fame in Diddy's girl group, Danity Kane, after he discovered her making the band in 2004, but she was fired from the group 4 years later. The disgraced musician, who's, we already know his real damn name, is awaiting trial on the notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, blah, 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 so on and so forth. We already know the allegations, the trafficking, the racketeering, the whole gamut. Now, since his downfall, O'Day has been one of the Diddler's most outspoken critics, and after she was revealed as Aunt on The Masked Singer last week, lambasted him again. She said it's been a hell of a year before delivering a message about her former mentor. Said, my ex-boss, I'ma go there. He calls himself Love. He legally changed himself to that, or titled himself that. She said, and he uses the love heart to express that everywhere he goes, he's in prison now. And I just want to say to you guys, the love heart is now here, she said, to applause. Now, a source close to Diddy told TMZ's that O'Day's career is all thanks to Diddy, as she had the incredible opportunity when he cast her on MTV's Making the Band as a member of Danity Kane nearly 20 years ago. The source added that Diddy is only detained and hasn't even gone to trial yet to present a defense, so none of her claims fully hold up, at least not yet. Well, first of all, we all know that's some bullshit, because I said from the beginning, when Diddy was going around, oh yeah, I'm Love, and I'm like, child, if you don't get on my, from when he started calling himself that, I had the biggest side eye. I could have rolled my eyes so hard, I'd be able to see what my fucking brain cells look like. That's how trapped up in my damn head they would have been from all the eye rolling I was doing when he came out with that. And I'm sitting there like, is this clown serious? Like, he's running up here. He changed his name every 5 damn seconds. He was Puffy. He the Diddler. He's P. Diddy. He Puff Daddy. He's Miss Mama. Big old queen. A closet case. He was, how you doing? He was all those things. Then I'm surprised he didn't go by those titles. But he wanted to come around with those other stupid names. But then anyway, then he goes and changes himself to Love, and we're trying to come out and rehabilitate his image, which is where I think like people really started to see cracks in the situation. Even now, when he got his little lifetime achievement, whatever the hell they gave him over at the VMAs, and then his own family got up there and gave it to them because, you know, when you actually paying their bills and taking care of them, who else gonna give you awards? You ain't had nobody from Bad Boy except Mary J. Blige, who been real quiet about everything that's been going on since your ass been locked up. Now, everybody else on Bad Boy, why didn't they give you your accolades and stuff? Because you're a low down dirty dog and you're a slime ball and you're a demon. He is the devil. And nobody likes him. They tolerated your ass because you got a lot of money, power. You ain't had the respect, but you had the money and the power. You thought you had the power. But it's kind of like what Robert De Niro says to Calogero in A Bronx Tale. They don't love him. They fear him. When he was talking about Chaz Palminteri, man, he rest in peace. Remember that scene? It's like they don't like you. They fear you. And that's what a lot of people felt. When you have a lot of money, when you have a lot of people in your circle that are protecting you and all this other stuff, that's usually what happens. And so, but Aubrey ain't never took her foot off his damn neck, especially after he fired her. And then she said that, yeah, he was coming on to her sexually and stuff. She the only one that has been out here saying this, but hasn't filed a suit. Everybody else filed a suit, but she's alluded over the years that Diddy has done some nasty, shady shit to her and said some shady mess to her. So she's been very vocal about it. So I will take Aubrey's word over whoever this tight-ass source is that's literally trying to, I guess, keep the money rolling in, so they got to protect him. It might be his legal team that's saying all of this. So now in September, on Twitter, Aubrey described the legal action as a win for women across the globe, saying the purpose of justice is to provide an ending and allow us the space to create a new chapter. Women never get this. I feel validated. Today is a win for women all over the world, not just me, she continued, adding things are finally changing. Now, in the early morning hours, on Tuesday, she quoted a post from a journalist, Yashar Ali, in which she noted that he noted that O'Day has been trying to bring attention to Diddy's abusive nature and warn people that he is dangerous for years, which is something I literally have just said, even before I read the article, because sometimes I'll be reading through the stuff, but I don't, it's just in the midst of me reading, it's like the light spots on my brain, and all of a sudden I start remembering stuff back in the day, and I have to get it out before it leaves. So when the spirit is giving me the stuff to say, I say it based off of things that I've heard and I know about the man, allegedly. I'm gonna just say that. So now he added that O'Day's courage led to her allegedly being bullied, terrorized, and threatened. Now, O'Day claimed that Diddy did worse than that to me, though she didn't expand on her statement before thanking the journalist for sharing her story. Now, earlier that year, O'Day claimed that the rap mogul had tried to buy her silence by returning her music publishing rights, not just her, but a lot of them in the industry, which were owned by Bad Boy Records, as he had done with other artists connected to the label. She viewed the offer as an attempt to keep her from speaking out against him, because they did say that, yeah, I'm gonna give you your publishing rights, which she said wasn't worth nothing. She said that by the time she got through all that, she would have literally made less than $1,000 back from the residuals. So, no, you're not gonna buy my silence, not with no crumbs. What, you think I'm dumb? And in addition, yeah, she signed the paperwork. She can't say nothing negative about him. But then again, there's a lot of people out here who think NDAs are really worth something. NDAs ain't worth shit. People talk through NDAs all the damn time, but you don't hear nothing happening where they ended up getting sued or whatever the case is. So it goes to show you that NDAs are a bunch of, it's literally, I feel like it's a tactic to keep y'all quiet. But if you read the fine print, NDA ain't worth the tissue you wipe your ass with. Quiet as it's kept. Now, earlier, they also said that she viewed the offer as an attempt to keep her from speaking out against him. Now, in June, the singer boasted that she had immediately supported Diddy's ex, Cassie, after she accused him of SA, saying, I was the first one who came out and stood for her. It was a little too silent for my liking. In November of 2023, Cassie sued the rapper, claiming he controlled and abused her over a decade. Diddy vehemently denied all the allegations before settling the lawsuit within a day, which people still was defending him and all that. And I said, "Yeah, now if somebody went and did that settlement that quick, he's guilty." And then lo and behold, like weeks later, what had happened? He was out here lying and said he ain't do nothing to that girl. And then we saw that video of him kicking her and dragging her in the hotel hallway. And then it was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't believe it." Well, we should believe people when they say they've been abused in the beginning. Now, you have a right to be skeptical, and so you ain't got to post that on social media so that when you got evidence of egg on your damn face. Because even if you delete the stuff off social media, the evidence is still there. We still remember you said what you said, and now you look dumb. And there was people out here defending the diddler. Come to find out he did what he did. Then he came up with that tight ass Instagram video. And I'm like, okay, sociopath, get on my line with this foolishness. Nobody was buying it. I said, you clearly seeing the devil. Then I saw some other video that Radar Online posted, said that Diddy sold his soul to the devil and all, because all of a sudden they into like spirituality and all this other mess. It was talking about Diddy done sold his soul to the devil for fame. I said, okay, now y'all need to stop watching the damn Exorcist and all these other crazy ass movies where y'all want to bring up Illuminati and devil worship and eating bloody hearts of children. I'm like, get off my line with this foolishness. Although I wouldn't put nothing past it, there might be some truth to it. Because crazier things have happened when you're in the industry. But yeah, because Aubrey and D Woods wouldn't do what Diddy wanted. He wanted to control a lot of the narrative that was going on in these girl groups because, typical sociopath and egomaniacal maniac. He thought the show was making the band starring Diddy. Miss Mamas, you wasn't the talent. You're the mogul. Be a mogul. You let the girl shine. We was living for Identity Kane because we liked what we was watching with the show. And the songs was banging. But you wanted to come in and be the centerpiece. Like you was going to be up in there singing damage right along with him. If you want to put a skirt on, Miss Mamas, instead of having people allegedly put things in your ass behind closed doors, then you could have did that. But let the girls do what they do. So, shout out to Aubrey. I don't know if post the Masked Singer, if we'll still get music from her because what was that other group that she was a part of? Wasn't it called Dumb Blonde? I actually like when she was doing that with one of the other girls that was in the group. They had some cute songs. I would like for them to still come out and do some stuff. I kind of would like Aubrey to come out and do some independent dance pop music, whatever the case is. I like Aubrey, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll happen. But girl, keep speaking on the diddler. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of this news regarding Aubrey O'Day and Diddy and everything else recently? That little dagger she threw at him over on the Masked Singer. Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's see what we got in the comments. You said Team Gaga, even though Miss Thing. Oh yeah, you said Tel Aviv. Saw that one. Saw that one. You said for a Thursday show. But Mel B says Jerry is to blame for why the Spice Girls is happening. Well, isn't that the story that's been going on for a long time that it is her fault? I'm still wondering what went down with Q from day 26. Oh yeah. I can't keep up with that. Wasn't that the one that was on some podcast Prime? Isn't that yeah, isn't he the one that was just on a podcast Prime or something or another? I remember hearing that. All right, y'all. Anyway, let's move on. And let's talk about Armie Hammer, who's opening up about his first homosexual experience. So he said that he wanted to know what it was like to hook up with somebody on Grindr. So he decided to hook up with a dude at a restaurant. He said, but he couldn't get hard. He opted to abort mission on his homosexual experiment. So the 38-year-old actor, whose mother Drew insisted her son did not R-word or eat anyone, was joined on his Armie Hammer Time podcast. Not Armie Hammer Time. That's what you're calling your podcast? Oh, look, if you like it, I love it. You got to do something. So his mother was on his podcast, or they said that he was on his podcast, by actress and mental health coach Danny Drews on this week's episode. Now, Drew said When she first got to LA from New York City just to get a baseline, she told everyone that she was a lesbian. The experiment didn't last too long for Drews, with Hammer opening up about his brief trysts with some of the same gender. Well, I guess the only time he didn't hook up with a man was in acting, when he was up in there pretending to hunch Timothy Chalamet and Call Me By Your Name. But I do have the clip of him talking about his little sexual rendezvous with a man one time at band camp. So let's get to that clip, and then we'll come back and we'll talk. Please hold.
I tried hooking up with a dude one time, handsome, French, the
Sure,
whole thing.
sure, the whole thing.
I was like, okay, this could work. This could work. Let's try this. I remember I started making out with him, and I just remember being like, God, beards, this thing is fucking rough. Like, how do I get in there?
Totally.
And I remember I put my arms around him, and I was like, oh my God, and these shoulders are so wide.
Yeah.
He's so big. And it was kind of like getting hotter and heavier, but I was like, not even a twitch, going through the motions and like not feeling anything. And then he like reached, I was like, you're not going to touch my flaccid penis. And I was like, you know what? I got to stop us here. I tried hooking up with a dude one time, handsome.
Okay, so I genuinely wonder, like, what possessed him to, like, all of a sudden wake up one morning and decide, you know what? I feel like sucking a dick today. I feel like going on Grindr, finding me a nice, sexy old man. Well, not old, but sexy man, football player build, French, because I want a French kiss, a French man, like, and then he's got the facial. Look, us homosexuals, we know how to work around that. We don't mind a little stubble because we got a little hair on our chins as well, so we work around that. It's all natural to us. But I mean, and here's the thing: I don't feel no ways tied if a man wants to go around and experiment. Because I feel like all people should just, and this is up to you. I'm not putting a gun in your head telling you what you need to do. But I do feel like some people just need to take a situation and just once see what it's like to hook up with someone. And if it's not for you, then you move on. He also said that he was in a restaurant, his phone blows up, and it's like Grindr, and like someone else is like, I'm at the same restaurant. Do you want a blowjob in the bathroom? And you're like, hey guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes. Well, yeah, that's something we homosexuals are real good at. We can find out ways to slither on out. And I've done it many a times when I'm going to restaurants with friends. I've hooked up with people in the back. Yeah, I'm telling my business. One time I did it with somebody that he was an acquaintance. I hooked up with his boyfriend in the bathroom. They ain't know about it. Yeah, I've been doing messy stuff too. So I was in the bathroom going, he pressed himself upon me. We started doing some stuff. He initiated, he came up to me, we kissed me, and we got a little hot and heavy, and it is what it is. So it wasn't necessarily my fault. He started and I finished it. But I will say that, look, men, if you want to go out and experiment, like I said, go ahead and experiment. And then if it's not something for you, then He also said, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this a try. Yeah, like maybe this actually works for me. Let's give it a try. I remember I met this dude somehow, and then that's when he told about the whole French thing, because the clip that I showed you didn't go into the whole thing. You just saw the part where he goes in and says, I remember I met this dude, handsome, fresh, the whole thing. I was like, okay, this could work, blah, 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 blah. But all the other stuff that I read to you, he said that before we got to that clip. And so, he's like, it wasn't working out. The flaccid penis, I didn't get aroused. And who knows? Maybe it could have been, it could be a lot of things. It could have been nerves, that you were a little nervous or whatever the case is. And sometimes when you hooking up with a guy and you're in certain situations, people get performance anxiety, whatever the case is. Or maybe it was just at that point you knew that it was just like, I'm not really, this is not my thing. I tried it once, it's not my thing, and that's fine. So they said he didn't specify when this encounter happened, though the social network star did make headlines when he shut down Louis Theroux about his cannibalism claims. So now, there was a whole thing about, cannibalism. We don't need to get into that because that's always going to be the thing that's always, haunting him for the rest of his life. So his acting career is kind of on the fritz right now. I know he's supposed to be doing a movie with Uwe Boll, who's like one of the worst filmmakers. I don't know how they still give him money, but he's supposed to be doing a movie called The Dark Knight. I don't know if he filmed it already, whatever the case is. I heard Warner Brothers is pissed over the fact that they're using that title because you already know where The Dark Knight comes from. So they're a little pissed about that, and the movie is what it is. However, with the whole Armie Hammer situation, like I said, if you're a guy or a girl, look, we allow women to go and, oh yeah, that one time I was in college, I made out with a girl, and I let her eat my box a couple of times. Like I was out here deep diving in some clam when I was, in college, whatever the case is, and then I let a girl do it to me, and then I got out of my system. Now I'm married with children, and I've got, all that stuff. But the minute a man does it, he's gay, he's this, he's that. And we've seen many of shows that play into that foolishness. Oh, well, you hooked up with a man, I can't hook up with you. We've seen it happen on Insecure. We've seen it happen on Sex in the City with Carrie Bradshaw when she hooked up with that dude that was bisexual, and she was in that whole bi-phobia mess that was going on with that. But I understand that was like the 90s. It was a different time. However, then when you look at Insecure, who did the same storyline, it's like it still is an ongoing thing. So, like I said, there's always word that goes around that says, you know what, I think that everybody is bisexual to a degree. It's just all about whether or not you act on those impulses. And so just kiss a boy if you're a boy, and kiss a girl if you're a girl. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. Keep it moving. Let people, as I say, live and let live, or let go and let God. I don't know why I said that, but whatever. So anyway, let's say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to Armie Hammer all of a sudden coming out and saying that he had a little tryst with the man and then realized it wasn't for him? I said, okay. If this was a moment for you to get like to have your site go viral or your podcast, it worked because we're talking about it. But I've seen all the gay blogs were just eating this up. Maybe that's a poor choice of words, but they say eating this up, and then we got Armie with the cannibalism. Whatever. It is what it is. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. I sort of, wait. I guess Oscar De La Hoya is banned on Joe Rogan. I guess did they have a feud with Dana White? He's so far of Dana White's ass. And that's because, Joe Rogan is his boss. I mean, Joe Rogan's boss is Dana White. So I definitely said, first of all, did y'all see that video that's been going viral with Oscar De La Hoya on a plane and you see all that bulge in his pants? I'm like, sir, now you knew exactly what you was doing when you was wearing them pants and we see all that dick print. Like, what you doing? Not that I was complaining, but I'm just saying. We bask in our whoredom on this show. Ain't no slut shaming going on over here like they were trying to do. Luigi Mangione. They say he's from a rich family. This smells like a stunt. Well, yeah, because the whole the whole hammer, Arm and Hammer, that whole situation. Aren't they all right? Not okay, Goldilocks. Did he try to eat him? Can you imagine? Does Armie have a hammer in his pants? He might. I don't think it happened. He would have bit that. Y'all are so crazy. Probably women don't want to date him or hunt him because of that. Well, you know what? I think that's what he said, that it was because of I forgot to bring that part up. That I think it was saying like because he was so over it with women and the whole situation he was going with that, he was like, let me give men a try. That's where a lot of that came from. Now he Perez Hilton himself with the girls. Well, no, what could you mean no homosexual will touch Perez because he's a parasite. As in Parasite. And so I do be kissing women behind people's backs, but then I go on minding my business. Neither of our boyfriends have to know. Okay, that's how I feel. Did you watch House of Ham? No. But here's the thing: is like, oh, yeah, I've heard that they dislike, but that's probably, you know what? A lot of that could be a learned behavior. A lot of the dark twistedness that comes from his family, that's probably where all that comes from. But because Armie Hammer is the celebrity and is in the limelight, we're gonna get in on him versus the overall history of his family. You think his family is kind of like that family in Ready or Not? They said, well, I do acknowledge my weakness for the pasty Caucasian, not pasty Caucasian. Aubrey does nothing for me, unfortunately. Call Me By Your Name was 100% twink driven. Okay. It's a cute movie. I know one of my friends cried watching that movie, especially the ending. Yes, that's what we'll call it. Chris's Sex Chronicles. I wish they would bring back Taxi. Oh, yeah, I used to love that show. First of all, I used to I would have to sneak and watch Taxi Cab Confessions. One, because I was way too young to be watching, and number two, it came on late. So I used to sneak and watch Taxi Cab Confessions. That was my show. That, and remember the one where they had with what was the other video where they used to have like the strippers and the guys would show their peen and all the other stuff? Real Sex. I used to love that show too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we used to have to look. It wasn't easy for us to get the kind of content y'all could just get on social media and look up. We didn't have a porn hub, and we didn't have all that other stuff back in the day. We had to go on and watch cable. As the Oscar was just he was okay. Did he come out with music? Yeah, Hookers is the point. That was my show too. I used to love that show. How they used to interview the hookers, and then you be hearing them slurping up in the car. I used to gag over watching that. The guy who ate out his girlfriend, literally. Oh yeah, there was a lot. That was just Tactical Confessions, child. The memories, y'all taking me down memory lane with all the shows. Like we didn't realize how good we had it with a lot of these programs back in the day. I have not. I've been meaning to get around to it. And I gotta check. Let me check Beyond the Gates because I gotta look at my Paramount Plus. Hopefully they don't do like Hulu does with a lot of the new content that you have 7 days to watch it. Otherwise, we're deleting it. Because I haven't gotten around to watching it yet, but I did hear this because a friend of mine sent me a post and said that Beyond the Gates actually beat General Hospital in the ratings, which I'm not surprised because it's a brand new show. A lot of people want to check out the show, and oh no, it's still there. So I could definitely binge and watch. I think Paramount Plus is different. They're not like they're not like Hulu. I think they'll keep all the episodes archived. So I got 8 episodes to watch. So I gotta catch up on that. But there's so many shows that I gotta watch. I gotta watch this new season of Yellow Jackets. There's so many damn shows. But yeah, so let me look that article up because a friend of mine sent it to me. I get so many stuff a day between Robert flooding my damn inbox with so much stuff. And not that I'm complaining, I'm just saying. And wait, who's this queer icon and TikTok star Bach who is allegedly bitch, they trying to say there's a dude that's in Luigi Mangione's sex tape. Hold on, let me see if I can show y'all the picture in reverse. I don't know if y'all can see it for the green screen. Wait, hold on, because I'm charging my phone, actually. They said this boy, oh my God, I can't really. Okay, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to copy it. Well, I'm going to have to post it on my social medias so y'all can see what this boy. So they saying that Luigi out here hunting the twinks. Damn, if I would have saw this earlier, I would have added that to the story. I'm so mad, but whatever. It is what it is. I just told y'all now. Oh yeah, so I found it. So they said that ratings Beyond the Gates tops General Hospital in its premiere week. And this is according to MichaelFairmanTV.com. And it said Beyond the Gates, Daytime's first new network soap opera since 1999, scored with viewers and the Nielsen rating data for its premiere week on February 24th to 28th. Beyond the Gates, which goes head-to-head with General Hospital in their time slot, bested the long-running ABC daytime soap in the key demos, according to a report from Soap Opera Network. Now, overall, the key demo of women 18 to 49, Beyond the Gates, ranked 6th for 1 week among all daytime broadcast shows with a 0.25 rating. Now, in addition, for women 25 to 54, Beyond the Gates also ranked 6th for the week, averaging a 0.39 rating. Both those ratings points were up from the series it replaced, The Talk. Well, child, nobody was watching The Talk. That show was so horrible. But I'm here for it. I'm definitely here for this chair. I'm like, look, didn't they say the story about Luigi that he was out here hunching dudes? I'm like, let me find out you like twinks. And you had your sugar walls being stretched. Well, first of all, shout out to the twinks. Because seeing y'all with your little small booties and the size of the meat y'all be taking, I'll be praying for y'all. But anyway, let me get off my phone and get back to the show because I was trying to look that up for y'all, and I got sidetracked with another damn post. Peacock would have been a better. Oh, for Beyond the Gates? Yeah, but you want to know something? Peacock has ads. I don't want to have to sit through a show with ads. Me for Paramount Plus, I don't pay for ads, so I can literally watch the shows all the way through, and it's done pretty quickly. Peacock is the only streamer that I use that has ads. Speaking of which, the reunion for the Traitors is tomorrow, so I got to catch up on last week's finale, and I got to catch up on the Housewives of Beverly Hills because I saw something going on Dorit. So y'all remember sneaking a while. Mm-hmm. And back in the day, there was sometimes I had to go flip the channels or whatever so you can even see the porn. One time, me and my sister, we ordered when we had because my parents sold Amway and stuff back in the day, so we used to always go on trips and stuff around the United States. One time, me and my sister hit the cable thing for the porn, not realizing that was going to end up on the bill. When we was done with the hotel, yeah, my father got charged for that. Because we thought, it was like, oh, we watching these porn. I was like, do you realize you got to pay for that? That, and also we invaded the bar. Like they had like the little mini bar and stuff. Yeah, me and my sister, we was badass teenagers. We was sneaking into stuff when we wasn't supposed to, because I was following her, because she was older than me. I'm a middle child. So it's yeah, I am praying for them. Some of those twins be okay, and it's usually the ones that's the little skinny ones. You always gotta watch out for them. They be having those monstrosities up in between their legs. Okay, as I used to call 900 numbers when I. I watched the bottom say he can't get laid for 5 years because he had to have everything surgically repaired to do. Yeah, that's why I said all that damage. That guy was on the last show. I could have sworn that Porfy, remember him? But I think he's getting back into making the stuff again. He said that he probably got to get some surgery or stuff in the back because of like all the years that he's been, he bottoms. So he had to I think he has to get some surgery or something. I don't know if it ever happened or whatever the case is, but he was like, I got to watch it because all that pounding and stuff y'all be doing on the camera because it looks good for, and people get off on watching that. You got to realize the effect that takes on the body after a while. Like it's the poop shoot is very sensitive. That's a lot of sensitive tissue back there. You got to watch it. I started meeting guys in gay chat line. I mean, we was all on the chat line when I was younger. I was on there too. There was like one number that you had to call, and everybody all of a sudden sounded like, that they had that thug tone, but then of course you see them and they look like Miss Mary in person. I was like, you was up in there putting on a whole act, trying to act like you was Malik Yoba from New York Undercover, bad Al. And then I see you in person and you literally giving me Saucy Santana. And you said the first guy I met was 26 and we saw each other. Mm-hmm. Oh, please. I was young hooking up. Like, I believe let me tell you, my first time was with this black businessman. And this is back in my bottoming day. Look at me telling on my damn tea. I don't bottom no more because I realized when I was younger, it wasn't so. I was experimenting and figuring out what I like. Now it's like not my thing. But the good thing is when you try out bottoming, you understand what bottoms are into. So that way you're more, what's the word? Sensitive to their needs, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But yeah, my first time was with a black businessman. I was walking down the street minding my business, and he goes and said, "Is your name Michael?" And I was like, "No," and not realizing I was being picked up. All of a sudden, we went up in a hotel up in on 42nd Street down towards 10th Avenue. 10th Avenue. He tore my ass. It was good though. It was a big, muscular black man too. Luigi look likes cat. But they need to start doing that at the gay clubs. It was like that whole they need to start doing a lookalike thing. Remember how they did Timothy Chalamet and all that other stuff? They need to do one with Luigi Mangione. We need to have a Luigi Mangione lookalike contest. Look, I'm available for bookings. If y'all need somebody to host y'all little shows out in the gay clubs in New York, Maybe I need to start hitting up some of my club friends. Like, book a bitch. I'm not going to be a drag queen, but I can host a show. You say it was my. Yeah, I was Michael that night. They said the American Bar Association told us we don't impeach judges. Moss is an idiot. Yeah, that is a good question. What do you mean, like, looks like a cash in? Are you talking about like the whole contest situation? I remember when they did best ass count. Oh, I miss those. The ass contest. They used to do those at Mr. Black. Do you think a top who has never bottom can truly satisfy their partner? I think you can if you are attentive to the needs of the bottom. It's, but communication stuff is all important. I do hate the ones that be jumping here and just, doing that fat rabbit killer type shit and thinking it's cute, and you have no empathy for a bottom or whatever the case is. I don't like those like that. The ones that be running around being selfish and acting like they shit don't stink. Well, the quiet as it's kept, a lot of y'all be out here like Castro Supreme with a dick the size of a damn baby arm and the shit don't get hard. So I don't be understanding that. OF clips for sale. Okay. Now Luigi Tales. I mean, speaking of which, I know I was talking about some people was asking me about Tim Tales. I hope they still keep it around. I think I mentioned that in my video too. Like I hope they keep it going because a lot of people like it was great quality. Tim Kruger was really good at recruiting models, and I love the diversity of his content. I do hope that his partner, who helped him build the site and build Tim Tales, I hope that they keep it going. So that's what we need. They just post the same pics over and over, thinking, "Child, who you telling?" That's another that be hating. That I be hating about these straight acting models that be running around trying to sell us the same crap. Like who's that little big booty one? The model that was a former athlete or whatever the case was that was out here talking about he bottoming in a video, and all of a sudden it was him with a toy in his ass, and a girl was pegging him or something or another, and the homosexuals was pissed because they was hoping that he was actually gonna get slutted out by an actual peen, not no piece of plastic. Okay, that's what it was giving a sore baby on. But anyway, let's move on from this messy talk and let's get into the rest of the show. We actually have 4 more topics left. So before we get to said topics, if you could please do me a solid, hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. And yes, I will be putting, as I said earlier in the show, I will be putting timestamps throughout the show once the live stream is over. So that way, if you don't want to sit through the hilarious, messy banter that we do on this good old show, you can just fast forward right to the highlights or whatever topic you want to get to so you can hear what I got to say on that mess. Now, without further ado, let's get into, so we already talking about adult performances and things of that nature, performancers. Let's get into this story. So the other day, yeah, we talked about we had lost Tim Kruger, and I did mention in passing that Roman Mercury had passed away, and they were around the same age. Tim Kruger was 44, Roman Mercury was 45, and so I saw that the story was floating around on one of the other adult sites. So I was like, let me just bring it up here so that we could pay proper homage to him. So gay porn star Roman Mercury passed away according to a social media post by fellow performer Greg Dixon. The post came late on February 27th with few details on the circumstances. Now, Dixon said the post was approved by Mercury's close family in California and that his ashes will be spread in the nearby ocean. Sidebar, you know what? I've been thinking a lot about death lately. And I know, I'm in that same age bracket as like Roman Mercury and, Tim Kruger. But I was like, you know what? I was thinking, because like I told you, my parents, my sister, a lot of my family members, they're getting buried out in Pine Lawn, out in Long Island. Me personally, just cremate my ass and throw me in the ocean. I said, throw me around some like a gay club or something. Just sprinkle me around the club or whatever the case. Or you could just sprinkle me out in the pier. since I used to hang out at the piers in New York City, in Manhattan, in the Village, when I, coming up. So just spread my ashes around there so I could be a part of the history and stuff. So I was thinking more about that. Of like, how would I like to go in the world? Just cremate me and spread my ashes in the damn off the pier. So anyway, I do have the actual post of what they said. So now it says, in loving memory of Roman Mercury, with profound sadness, we share the heartbreaking news of the passing of Roman Mercury. Roman left us unexpectedly, leaving behind a legacy of passion, talent, and kindness that touched the lives of so many around the world. To his fans, friends, and loved ones, we know how deeply he was admired. As a creator and actor, his energy and spirit will forever live on. Though his time with us was far too short, his impact will never fade. His family will spread his ashes in the ocean near his favorite place to live in Southern California. Roman, you will always be missed, but never forgotten. This news was approved by a close family in California. The photo is a never been released picture by Mark Henderson. Well, I don't have the picture, but I had this photo. I don't know if that's the same photo because I didn't get to see, I don't have all the time in my head with what the photo was. But nevertheless, I'm glad that they actually spoke about this. So, well, actually, I think I do have a photo. So yeah, we'll put this up there because look at all that fineness right there. So now, born in Brazil, and shout out to the Brazilian, but let me tell you, okay, let me not be whorish. We was doing that during the last segment. We're going to behave ourselves doing this story. So now, born in Brazil, Mercury was 45 and based in Las Vegas. He made a studio debut in 2022 in a scene with Bo Butler and Raven Stallion's Heavy Load Movers. Well, we love a heavy load over here. Now, the creator had a presence on his fan site platforms, then started doing more studio work last year. He performed at the Bro Network and Pantheon. He also made a return to Raging Stallion, which, sidebar, I don't know if y'all know about this, but Raging Stallion has always been one of my favorite studios. I've always liked that whole aesthetic of Enz's. It was the real muscularness and the gruff, hairy chest and all that other stuff. I've always kind of liked that aesthetic. Especially me coming up with a generation, my type of adult performers, that era of Steve Cruz and that whole type of vibe. That's what I grew up watching. Now, they said that he had 2 scenes in the recent film Hardwood Lodge and 2 scenes in the Raging Stallion / Minute Play collab Executive Order. He earned 2 Gay Vivienne Award nominations at this year's show, both for group scenes. Now, speaking of which, Steve Cruz, who directed Mercury at Raging, along with fellow performers, expressed their condolences on social media, saying, "Another good guy gone, gutted. Rest in peace, my friend. You are missed." And so, yeah, he has that. And I love the fact that Steve Cruz graduated from doing, being in front of the camera to actually being behind the camera. That was one of the things I always loved. And I always felt like there should have been more performers that did that. That was you know what? I'm going to retire, actually slinging my meat and things of that nature on camera. And I'm going to just go behind the scenes and actually keep the studio going and perfect my art of directing. So then also we have some from Sir Peter. We have a comment from Ryan Landers, Jordy Massive. Doesn't Ryan Landers do chatterbait videos and stuff too? Jordy Massive, Tony Silver, Daddy Ken Rock, they were all out here sending their condolences and things of that nature. So shout out to them. Where Jordy Madden said, "Rest in peace, my condolences." Ryan Landers said, "This is so incredibly sad. I just met him for the first time in Las Vegas last month." Tony Silver sent on a heart emoji. And Daddy Ken Rock said, "Beautiful words for a beautiful soul." Heart emoji. Now the community, as we said earlier, is in the matter of days, we lost Tim Kruger, who was a gay porn legend. And he passed away last week, or this past week. And now we have this story. Excuse me. From Roman Mercury. So condolence to him. Shout out to his family and friends and those who knew him and stuff. We don't know exactly what he passed away from, but I'm sure, who knows, when they're ready to let us know what the tea is, we will know the tea when they're ready to spill the tea. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? When you first heard about Roman Mercury, what were your favorite movies about him? I mean, were you a fan? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Mm-hmm. Mm. What's that? Timothy Champagne. Child, don't even get me started on Timothy Champagne. He's giving content, stunts, and shows. He said, I just learned Ronald DeSatan. Oh, are they? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I won't be surprised if he can start feuding with Elon Musk. And you said, not who is he not feuding with? Exactly. Yep, another corn star. Mm-hmm. Roman Mercury, what I wanted him. He was so nasty. Well, that's probably why I like Raging Stallion, because that's usually the type of stuff I'm like, we like a nasty in the bedroom. Yeah, he was hot. He said the girls be slamming tea and sipping G and then don't wake up. Well, we don't know if that's true, but that is true in what you be saying. However, we don't know if that's his incident. Hopefully that wasn't it. It's the same thing like when people were so quick to, when Tim passed away. They were and his partner had to get on social media and say, everybody's running around with these conspiracy theories and this, that, and the other. There was no drugs involved. There wasn't all these other things that people were saying. It was an accident at home. I even had somebody in my comments saying it probably was autoerotic asphyxiation. Well, I don't know. I wasn't in the bedroom. So like I said, until they're ready to come out and tell us what the tea is, then we'll know. But just let these people rest in peace. Mm-hmm. I said, quite young, rest in peace, may have passed much younger. No, many have passed much younger. Raging Stallion is where I fell in love with Sebastian. Oh, I know who Sebastian Cross is. Trust and believe. Sebastian Cross was another one I was just like, oh, who is that? I used to watch a lot of his content. Is he? I don't know. I have to do the research on that. He was a certified homosexual, but he did retire. He lives in San Jose, I believe. He had the rose check. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I did like Sebastian Cross. That was a fine ass man. Let me look him up again just so I could go down memory lane. Not Sebastian Stan, although he is hot. No, that ain't hot. Wait, I don't want to put no dry air up in here. Yeah, I was like, yeah, I remember him. I was like, what happened to him? I feel like Sebastian Cross didn't really last long in the industry and things of that nature. But yeah, he was a cutie. He did a lot of stuff for Falcon and things of that nature. I always liked when he bottomed though. Um, and Pierre Fitch, who actually follows me on Twitter, by the way. um, but anyway. I mean, I hope it's not related to substance abuse or mental illness, but you never know what people are actually going through in this business. All right, so now everybody, let's move on and let's get into some drag race news. So, it's funny how I didn't even have this situated like this, but it's funny how my brain works. Like we were just talking about a death, and now I didn't even realize, the Vivienne, another person that passed away a couple of months ago. So apparently, Wow Presents Plus is going to honor the Vivienne with a documentary after their death at the beginning of the year. Oh yeah, I said a couple of months ago because we're in March. She passed in January, and we've been keeping abreast of what's been going on with the Vivienne and stuff on the show. But I actually am looking forward to this. So it said the team behind, and this is according to Deadline, so this is the major trade. So shout out to them. They said the team behind Drag Race is making Dear Viv, a documentary celebrating the life and legacy of, James Lee Williams, aka British drag icon, the Vivienne. Williams was found unalive in their bathroom this January. An inquest into their death has been adjourned until June. Now, World of Wonder is producing Dear Viv with the blessing of Williams's family and friends. It will have archive footage and intimate interviews with loved ones and fellow Drag Race contestants such as Bag of Chips, Michael Maruli, and Danny Beard, as well as excerpts from personal letters that were, written by the fans. Now, the Vivienne won the first ever series of RuPaul's Drag Race UK in 2019 and made many appearances on stage and screen, including RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars in 2022, as well as ITV competition show Dancing on Ice in 2023. In theater, the Vivienne played the Wicked Witch of the West in a 2024 touring production of The Wizard of Oz. The doc will launch later this year on Wow Presents Plus with streaming service set up by it's the streaming service from World of Wonder. Now, the film traces Williams' journey with humble beginnings in North Wales to their meteoric rise on RuPaul's Drag Race UK. The producers said they wanted to showcase their unbreakable spirit and quickfire wit and talent, which came to define them. The World of Wonder team added that the doc aims to be more than just a celebration of a successful career, but will also honor the Vivienne's impact on the drag community and beyond, saying, quote, "We want to celebrate the Vivienne's extraordinary life and work so everyone can experience her incredible talent, sass, and enormous heart. This is what Randy Barbato and Fenton Bailey, co-founders of World of Wonder and executive producers of the film." They also produced Drag Race, so as y'all know. Now, although her stay here on Earth was far too brief, it is with tremendous admiration and affection that we share her legacy in Dear Viv. Well, who knows when that we'll probably get there. We'll probably get it late this year, early next year. But I'm thinking that they're probably going to push it for like maybe the end of 2024 or 2025. We're like, shit, we're in 2025. What am I talking about? But yeah, I'm actually excited for this. I like the Vivienne. Definitely think that she was a force to be reckoned with, an immense talent. And I do feel like that we definitely need to get a documentary about her so that way people can know her life and all the other stuff and see how she's celebrated in the Drag Race universe. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it, but I want to hear from you guys. Are you excited for this upcoming documentary on the Vivienne that World of Wonder is producing that we will get to see sometime, maybe this year or next year on Wow Presents Plus? So I want to hear from you all. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. You said I talked to Ken Mack a couple of times. All right. He said he was short and had the prettiest blue eyes. He would brief all the time. Oh wait, you said he would briefs all the time. Wait, who doesn't bottom? You talking about Sebastian? Oh no, he bottom. Sebastian cross bottom. But oh, you talking about somebody else? He said, "I love the Vivienne. I love the Vivienne in that Christmas horror story they did. Also in Fairy Tale Justice, where she played Little Red Riding Hood with multiple personalities. Oh yeah, that was a good one too." And he said, "I remember when she said she was attacked. Oh yeah, that was like when we first started hearing a lot of stuff about the Vivienne and when she had gotten bashed at the McDonald's out in the UK and all that other drama, and then this stuff happens. So it's just crazy out here in these streets, unfortunately." Oh, sidebar. Remember we talked about the other day that I said that I saw like the poster or whatever about Stranger Things? Well, apparently I thought it was the show. It's not. Apparently, Stranger Things is going to Broadway. I don't know how they're going to make that work, but apparently they managed to find a way to make Stranger Things into a Broadway show. But while I know some of y'all be like, huh, how? This is not the first time that this has happened with a popular franchise and they kind of mix horror and musical elements. I don't remember when it came out, but eons ago, I remember my mother took me. I'm trying to remember if anybody else was with me, but all I remember is I was there. I got to go see a musical version of The Evil Dead. And the first couple of rows was like the blood section, where it was like, you know how like when you watch the show, when you watch the movies, how they have that big projection of blood that shoots out, you actually will get shot up with blood if you're in like the front row, whatever the case is. So you got to wear like your little parka, raincoat, whatever you want to wear, because you will get wet with some fake blood. So, and that was a fun play. They even had a musical song called the Necronomicon. I don't know why I was like struggling to say that word, but yeah, it was a whole musical number and everything. It was crazy. It was kooky. It was fun. So if they can kind of take that whole camp approach or whatever to a Stranger Things musical, I definitely want to check it out. But I see we have one more comment. Oh, Felix, I'm guessing running up that hill. Can you imagine? I wouldn't be surprised if they did do that with it. But I was like, a musical of Stranger Things? Okay. But they got to keep it going because this is the final season we're about to get. But anyway, let's move on. And since we were already talking about TV and Drag Race, I got some more Drag Race news. So apparently, RuPaul's Drag Race, they have their musical that's currently going on in Vegas called RuPaul's Drag Race Live, where they have Losing is the New Winning and all those other songs that goes along with the show. Well, they're about to approach their 1000th episode. And in addition to celebrating their 1000th landmark, they're going to celebrate in the form of us getting to see the show live on Wow Presents Plus. So the creative team behind RuPaul's Drag Race World of Wonder announced on Monday that the Las Vegas variety show will broadcast live this month in celebration of the 1000th performance of RuPaul's Drag Race Live. The special will feature former Drag Race stars and resident cast members like Season 7 runner-up Ginger Minj, Season 12 winner Jada Essence Hall, and Asia O'Hara, RuPaul's Drag Race All-Stars winner Kylie Sonique Love, Morphine Love Dion, and Plain Jane will also join them along with surprise guests, saying, "Our 1000th performance confirms that RuPaul's Drag Race Live is a must-see experience worthy of Vegas's iconic strip." This is what World of Wonder co-founders and Drag Race producers Fenton Bailey and Randy Barbato wrote, saying, "It's a testament to the charisma, uniqueness, nerve, and talent of the many queens who have both appeared on the TV show and dazzled audiences from the stage to the legendary Flamingo." Apparently, I can't read today. Now, RuPaul's Drag Race Live opened in 2020. Damn, it's been that long? But I didn't realize it was out for 5 years, damn near. So it said it opened in 2020 at the Las Vegas Flamingo Hotel. It uses the competition TV series as a template for its scripted show, featuring choreographed ensembles, fake slaps, and a syncometer for best lip syncs. The live show was produced by World of Wonder and drag show production company Voss Events. And so, Brandon Voss making all that coin. The broadcast will take place on March 15th at 9:30 p.m. PST and will be available to watch on the streaming platform Wow Presents Plus. Now, RuPaul's Drag Race Live Untucked, which gives viewers a peek into the live show and its working drag queens, will premiere its second season on April 4th on Wow Presents Plus, with RuPaul's Drag Race Season 16 winner Nymphia Wynn joining the cast. So I totally forgot about RuPaul's Drag Race Live, that they were doing like a behind the scenes stuff, because I liked the first season. I actually thought that was pretty good. But in regard to this whole thing, I think this is a brilliant idea. This is definitely a way to get more butts and seats, to get more people to want to show up and see the Ru girls performing. Because I'm like, what better way to see a musical featuring drag queens performing than in Vegas doing a residency where you get to see them up there lip syncing to, you know, sung numbers by professional singers, and they're giving a show. I would even like to see them do more of this like on a Broadway, where it's like y'all could just have a musical. I would have said like, but I guess in that way they would have like actual singers up there, similar to Drag the Musical, which, sidebar, I just found out a couple of weeks ago, and I meant to bring this up. Drag the Musical, the Alaska musical, whatever, is closing soon. So if y'all want to go and see Drag the Musical, please, I implore you to go check it out before the show closes its doors for good. I believe their final shows are in April, and Alaska is trying to see. I don't know if it's happened yet or if it's official, whatever the case is, but I know Alaska's trying to take the show to London, which I think would be perfect as well. That you can get the same cast of people, Lux and Juju B and all of them, to travel over to London and do the show there, unless you want to bring other people in. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see Joey McIntyre playing the character that he was playing. In there was another actor. He was supposed to play the straight guy in the show, but from what I saw of the show, and I was there. I told y'all the same day that Frankie Grande was at the show, and me and my friend was in the front row at the little table on the side or whatever. So I was close to the girls, where there was all moving parts and stuff. So it's a great show. Definitely check that out. So I love the fact that we're seeing more drag queens getting these opportunities to perform and stuff. And we need more shows like this where we get to see more talented drag queens out here, whether it's your own little Broadway show, it's your separate little show on the Strip, or whatever idea you have coming up. I even have an idea for a Vegas show, but I don't want to say what it is because I want to mind stealing my stuff. But for the most part, I'm excited for this. I'm definitely looking forward to checking out that and the RuPaul's Drag Race Live Untucked, which is like a behind the scenes of the girls who are working on RuPaul's Drag Race Live and that sort of thing. Wow Presents Plus, they've solidified themselves to being like the force to be reckoned with in regards to like real good quality entertainment on their streaming service. I kind of wish that they would actually move RuPaul's Drag Race to Wow Presents Plus and just have people just come up on there and watch the show that way as a subscription rather than this mess that's going on with MTV and the fact that a lot of people say that they don't even have MTV and there's no way for them to watch the show anymore. So they have to either go and watch viewing parties at some bar or they gotta watch it illegally, which I know a lot of people that watch it illegally. Me, I watch it through Philo. And now they're trying to tell me they want to raise the price on Philo, which is like they want to charge people damn near $30. So, because that's the only way you can get MTV. You can't even go on MTV.com and watch the original programming and live streams and stuff on there anymore, which is how I used to watch Drag Race back in the day before it blew up and became what it is today. So, I definitely want to hear from you guys. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Okay, so I'm like, let me close those windows. Let's see who's in the comments. Felix says they can make musicals out of almost anything these days. That's true. You got to have talented people that can write songs. Look, Alaska, when I was having a conversation with her, she said that it took her 8 years to put Drag the Musical together. So it takes a while, especially when you have ideas and you need somebody who can come in. Like with me, if there was ever a point that I had an idea and I was like, I want to work on a musical or whatever the case is, I would have someone who understands that world that can help me craft songs, and we just create it and do that. That's what Alicia Keys did with Hell's Kitchen, and like I said with Alaska and the show. With her show, she said, look how long it took her to craft what she had with Drag the Musical. And Drag the Musical is really good. I actually hope they make it into a movie and kind of take more of a Hedwig and the Angry Inch approach, because it kind of gave that vibe when I was watching it. It had like this whole fuck you attitude punk vibe to it. So I would love to see down the road the show be made into a movie in the vein of, like I said, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, which is a movie I love, by the way. Remember when shit, hold on. Remember when it started, they showed it on VH1, the backstage footage and things Queens did. They ended it with, yeah. But I used to watch it on Logo. That's when I first started watching it. I was in college when Drag Race came out, and I was supposed to be doing my film school, basically. And I was supposed to be doing all my film school stuff. I'm sitting there watching Drag Race. So those were the days. And then I have this girl in my class, Tiffany. We would sit there and watch it together. Is it true that there is no real gay scene in Las Vegas? Well, that's a good question. I would like to know if there's a gay. I mean, I know there's a couple of drag bars. Like one of my friend David was telling me that yeah, they do have a bit of a drag scene out there where Coco Montrese has a show that she does and a bunch of other girls. But I don't know if there's necessarily a gay scene, because at one point I did consider moving to Vegas because I heard it's cheaper. But now I guess at this point, them prices probably going up because everybody's moving out there. But I don't know if I can take that heat all year round. So I don't know if I want to live there. But then again, how is it different than New York weather? Because this winter weather has been drying the hell out of my damn skin. But anyway. All right, y'all, let's move on to our final topic, and let's talk about Kori King, who is opening up about her recent elimination. And, where she had to go up against her good Kaka sister, aka her new boo thing, Lydia Butthole Kollins. So, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17 star Kori King has revealed that she would have opted to eliminate herself had she been saved from the most recent episode Bottom 2 Lip Sync. During episode 9, titled Heaven's to Betsy, the 9 remaining queens were tasked with designing looks inspired by whimsical fashion designer Betsy Johnson. Kori and her seasoned sister and now partner, Lydia Butthole Kollins, ultimately ended up in the bottom 2, having a lip sync for their lives to Lita Ford's 1988 single, Kiss Me Deadly. Now, despite the pair ending the performance with a very passionate kiss, much to the joy of the judges, and particularly Mama Ru, Kori was ultimately told to sashay away. Now, speaking to Entertainment Weekly about her elimination, Kori revealed that the instantly iconic kiss was unplanned and based on gut instinct, despite Kori and Lydia being involved in a blossoming romance at the time. So she said the following. She said, "We locked eyes and we saw the vibe. It was last verse. You just feel it," she shared before revealing that despite the rapturous response to the kiss, she didn't expect or want to stay in the competition. "Once it was me and Lydia, I did not want to stay at all. I knew how bad Lydia wanted it and I'd rather have her stay than me. However, if it was me and fellow competitor on your nerve in the bottom, baby, I'm bucking. Even if I did win, I would have to find a way to save Lydia," she said. "I'd have to BenDeLaCreme myself." Now, a queen pulling a BenDeLaCreme, if y'all don't know, remember in All Stars 3, where I guess Ben was trying to, and some people felt like she was trying to control the narrative, how she was being portrayed on the show, because she was getting all the wins and everybody was looking at her as a threat and all this other stuff, that she decided, I'm going to give me some whiteout, I'm going to put my name on a lipstick, and I'm going to eliminate myself because I want to go out on this high in controlling the narrative versus the producers trying to do whatever it is they wanted me to do, where I had to go and every time I would win, I would have to eliminate my fellow sisters. So instead of me having to play this malicious game, instead of it just being all-stars where it's the best of the best and ruin them, actually get up there doing the job they get paid a shit ton of money to do, I'm going to eliminate myself. So that's basically what the BenDeLaCreming of yourself means on the show. Now, do I believe that Kori King would have did this? No. I call BS on this. And one of the things I don't understand is, using my own, I felt like she wanted it more than me. Then what the hell were you doing there then? Because quiet as it's kept, it felt like you kind of were just going through the moment. You wanted to have your little viral moment. I feel like she wanted to go on the show to have a viral moment. You want to go up there, you want to be messy, you want to say a little all the other stuff that you want to say in the confessionals and have your little one-liners and be memorable. And trust and believe, a lot of the stuff you said on the show, you're going to be memorable. But as far as your drag is, it was giving very much thrift store Old Navy tees. Like, you got them dresses from Rainbows. That's what it was giving. And them wigs was looking a mess. And your whole aesthetic was giving much that horrid hemline that you had on that little pink outfit that you wore on the runway. It just looked a mess. Like, your whole situation was a mess. And another thing that irritated me too, let's bring up last week's episode where you sat up on that stage and you was doing, you know, all the moves, bopping your head back and forth, didn't even bother to glue your wig down on your head. Now, when we see many of drag queens over the show over the years, a lot of the earlier girls, like the Naomi Smalls, and you look at some of the other queens, like Kennedy Davenport, you look at all the ones that have their shit together when they be up there. Because y'all be thinking all drag is valid. And I'm sorry, it's not. And just because I don't do drag don't mean I can't critique it. I've been a fan of drag long before there was a RuPaul's Drag Race. I've been giving drag queens my coins long before there was a RuPaul's Drag Race. So for y'all to sit up in here and even try to slither y'all way up in my goddamn comments, like y'all members of the Slytherin, to sit up in here and say, oh, well, what do you know about it? I know a fucking lot, because somebody who grew up in New York and have been going to many a club in New York City and have put a lot of coins in the pockets of many of legendary New York City drag queens that you have seen go on RuPaul's Drag Race before we started getting you internet bitches. I could go on there and say what I want to say in regards of the type of elevated drag that we look forward to. Even if you're going to come up in here giving Miss Mamas from Venus, who had her whole penis out and no breasts, none of that stuff. When you gonna when you wear fake boobs, you need to have illusion where we're not seeing the lining of the fake breastplate on the runway, which we saw with Kori in this outfit. Was it this outfit or was it the outfit or a recent one? Because she had the breastplate, and I'm seeing literally the black cutout part that you can literally see the breastplate. You see the lining. Where is the covering? It's supposed to, if you're a drag queen, you're an illusionist. It's supposed to be illusion. That's the whole point of drag, female impersonation, illusion. I ain't supposed to know that you actually giving me man in a dress. We used to read girls down to the floor about that. Have you never seen Too Long Fu? How you literally had John Leguizamo character come out, looking a mess, which was based kind of on my friend Larissa Dumont. May she rest in peace. And you actually you was out here looking a hot ass mess, and she came out looking like a swan in the end. Where's the elevation? And y'all are on these damn TV shows looking like this. Like, this is the big leagues. This is not some local club where it's dark and hell is hot, and and the lighting is a mess. You're literally on national TV looking literally like you just started doing drag a week ago. But I understand y'all need that on the show because it makes y'all money. It's ratings. It makes it easier for RuPaul to chop your ass, or that you're entertaining enough that you get to be on TV, and we here for the reads and the gags and the roasts and stuff, but you looking a mess. And yes, Kori was very entertaining, but that drag, child, I don't know what you want to call that. So, in addition to me getting off my soapbox now, do I believe, like I said, that she would have, like, I just don't understand, like, you're saying, oh, because when you was digmatized, so all of a sudden, or bussy size, because she claimed she had top. And so she said, so with you removing yourself from the competition, she wanted it more, so therefore you're going to give it. So, like I said, what's the point of you being in? There are so many queens I know that would kill to be on Drag Race for the opportunity. But now you there. I was like, oh no, I would have sacrificed myself. I would have jumped on that grenade for Lydia Boho Kollins because we in love. And I'm glad that y'all got your relationship. But here's the thing. That was all production being messy because I said On Your Nerves should have been in the bottom alongside Kori. But for TV purposes, it didn't fit the narrative. So I see why they got rid of Anya. I mean, they saved Anya and had Lydia and them go against it because production knew what was going on behind the scenes. They knew that they were having a little situation. Rue and Michelle and them ain't privy to all of that. Y'all hunching behind the scenes or having y'all trying to have y'all little Brooklyn Heights Vanjie moment. What we call them, Brangie? Y'all wanted to have your little Brangie moment. And production was aware of it. So they chirped up in Rue's ear, was like, okay, this is who we gonna have in the bottom too. Even though I feel like On Your Nerves dress was messier than Lydia's look. But because of narrative purposes and before TV purposes and the rigor mortis of it all, I see why y'all put them two to go up against each other because it would make for good TV. I guess we got to realize at the end of the day, yeah, it's cute, whatever, competition, whatever you want to call it, but it's a reality TV competition show at the end of the day. So yeah, so Kori wants us to believe that she would have threw herself on that grenade to sacrifice herself to save her Lydia. Well, you go ahead and do that, Miss Mamas. Don't forget to write. So I say all that to say, what do you guys think of this story? Do you believe that Kori King would have sacrificed herself and eliminated herself or pulled a, but like, I'm sorry, I don't agree with this. I'm gonna eliminate myself. But we don't know because you've been eliminated. So you could just tell us anything and we believe it. Just like there was a lot of stuff that she was saying on that Roscoe's episode that she did last week. And I was sitting there just like, girl, you are full of shit. I'm not buying none of this stuff that you out here that you really trying to exaggerate it because you getting a lot of ha ha ha. Like you loving the crowd. You liking the attention you getting. So I feel like you embellishing. And I feel like she's embellishing here. But I wasn't there. So, and I don't live rent free inside her brain. So we're just going to have to take her word for it. Whether or not you believe it is up for speculation and debate. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. Anyway, let's move on and let's read these comments. Because I was like, damn, was I going in or was I going in? I don't know why I was so like animated when I started talking about that. But look, I tell you, sometimes the stuff comes to me and it just comes out the mouth and I just go along with it. I don't fight it. It just, whatever comes to mind based on what people say, I just go with it and it's like, let the chips fall where they may. So I bet we'll get a Barbie new. I wouldn't be mad if we had that. And there's already songs in the movie, so it would be perfect, but I'm not sure if it would stir up the same Barbie Mania. Yeah, they should have capitalized on that back when Barbie Mania was a big thing. Now I feel like we've all moved on. But if they created a Barbie musical, you can see how it is. I don't know how long it would last. Kori should have said something to the producers so they could pull a BenDeLaCreme. Yeah. She ain't as clever as BenDeLaCreme is, though. I can't shake the feeling that Kori is way more into Lydia. You want to know something? I agree. I just don't see it between them. I mean, don't get me wrong. Lydia's a cutie. I like, the twinks. The twinks be twinking. She a cutie or whatever. But I do feel like, you know what? It does give like Lydia's going for the ride because it's great for the show. It's entertaining. Child, watch when the show's over. All of a sudden, they done broke up when they get down to doing a reunion because we know now that they still involved and messing around. But we'll see how long that lasts. I don't see y'all being the Trista and Ryan of drag. They still together from The Bachelor. It's as long as I have heard they're still together. Didn't you say? Yeah, they are together. She mentioned that on Roscoe's that they're still dating. But I feel like once the dust settles and we done moved on to the season 18 girls, y'all ain't gonna be together. So enjoy the ride. Because it only lasts a year. I said, I wonder how Kori feels about his boo thing getting the invite to all. That's a good question. Because she did say, "Oh, y'all see me on All Stars." Well, hopefully that drag will be way more elevated than it was than when we was watching the show. Because when you come on All Stars, you definitely need to step your pussy up. Just like how I was talking about how Michelle. Remember when she read Adore Delano down to the ground for coming up on there looking a hot ass mess during All Star? So even give me that hog body and all that stuff. And then the fans got mad. I'm like, if y'all don't, like I said before when I went on my little rant, if y'all don't know nothing about drag, don't speak on it. It's like I know many a drag queens. I have a lot of drag queen friends. I've been putting money in drag queens' pockets long before RuPaul's Drag Race existed. So for y'all to see me sit up here and try to act like y'all know drag because of what you watching on the damn TV show, you know nothing. Jon Snow is what I will say. Oh, you said the kiss. Yeah, it definitely was the viral moment. But I do believe that part when they said that they just went with the moment because it did feel like it just felt instinctual. So I'm definitely feel like, yeah. But I was like, they better not use that kiss as a way of a double Shantae because I'd have been like, that's some bullshit. We don't need no more double Shantaes. I felt like y'all saved enough of them when y'all did that Badunkadunk tank. Speaking of which, do y'all think the Badunkadunk tank was successful? I like the idea in theory, but I feel like it was poorly executed. And will they bring it back? Yeah, they got you got Lydia's face, and then you got Kori's broad shoulders. Can you imagine? A pretty face, but the body of a linebacker. Anya's dress looked like a 11:30 rap. Okay, it definitely was given like a bad Christmas wrapping. That dress was atrocious, and I hated the way she put the bows. Like it literally should have been big, and then you make them smaller the more you go down, and then get the trimming around the edges. Like I think she was trying to cover up the hem, but I was like, the that little mess that you put at the bottom, I didn't like that either. I believe this is reality TV when one of these queens. Can you imagine? I mean, she got a husband, but I believe they have an open relationship. Claims being the word. Okay. Does Carl King identify as a woman? Are we not? Oh, no, we talking about Corey King. I'm like, who's Carl King? It's like when they put Alyssa Edwards in Coco Montre. Well, look, here's the thing. That's reality TV done correct, though. That whole thing with Alyssa and Coco, that worked. This whole stuff, it does feel contrived and heavily produced and obvious. Back in the day, whoever they had producing the shows back then, they was clever with the way they set all that up. So the Alyssa versus Coco thing worked at the time. And that's still iconic TV. Every time I go back, I still feel like I watched that the first time. I like their polar opposites dynamic. I like them more than Van. Yeah. You want to know something? I love Vanjie and she followed me on TikTok, but I do feel like they're it it felt like a showman between her and Brooklyn. I like the tank, but I hope they don't bring it back. And if they do, don't make the number of the they were trying, it wasn't intense. I'm like, yeah, okay. All of a sudden, 1 in 7 are the lucky numbers. That's for the Badunkadunk tank, really? And this is season 17. Come on. Don't piss in the air and don't piss in the air and tell me it's raining chair. Like we could see right through that BS. What? Wait, who we talking about? A producer that banged Willem. Who do you think will bomb the roast? I definitely could see that. I'm like, damn, who's left? I could definitely see Lydia and Arquette bombing the roast. I could definitely see them in the bottom. I could see either them. Yeah, I could definitely see them in the bottom too, and I could definitely see them sashaying away. On Friday, because I'm working the Dom Dollar concert, and I don't know how long that's gonna go. I'm definitely gonna watch that as soon as I get home. So I'm probably gonna stay up late. So yeah, I'm working both of his shows, by the way. So um I could definitely see Anya doing it. Susie, I could definitely. I even think Sam Starr, if she brings that southern shady demeanor, like she comes across like a pageant mom, like saying like, like when you roast the people and it sounds like, oh, because they have the accent, you sound so nice the way, like it's like fun shade, or just a nice lady being a bitch. I definitely want to see that. Actually, I'm not working Monday Night Raw. There's a lot of us that have been trying to get that shift and we're not, but next week is going to be crazy. So the only time I'm going to do a show is Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday to Sunday, I'm literally every day at the Garden because we have March Madness, which is double, triple shifts, is a lot of, college basketball and stuff. And then on Sunday, it's a Rangers game. So literally, y'all only getting 2 shows next week. So I'm really going to have to come with a lot of the topics. And I'm really going to have to work overtime and spreading out the topics so that way I can just upload them on YouTube just to keep the algorithm going. Because if I'm going for a long period of time, I feel like my numbers are going to drop. I know it's a whole technical mess. YouTube keep working my nerves with all these different things that they be doing. So yeah, I was trying to get the Monday Night Raw. It's funny, like one of my friends who didn't even know I was working there, I ran into him because I worked the last um event. When they did, it was the SmackDown, and I was on the floor, and he was in my section, and a lot of people was thinking I was going to be working there. Not the week that Austin Wolf gets arrested. Well, he's already in jail, so but yeah, yeah, so I'm not going to be working it. And then I think Tuesday is another event. I think it's boxing or something. I don't remember, but yeah, my week on next week is gonna be crazy busy. But I'm excited. I want to find out when how many of the Kylie shows I'm doing. Am I doing one or both? But I guess I won't find out until like 2 weeks. I had a feeling 17 were going to be the numbers for the 11. Funny enough, I was just watching the show. I wasn't paying that close attention to the numbers. I should have really, like, when I thought 7, I thought lucky 7. But I didn't know they were going to do like the one. I don't know. It just didn't dawn on me. Then when I looked at it and it was pointed out literally once, I'm like, duh, 17. So I was a little slow when I caught it. No, I am. I'm trust and believe. I'm definitely gonna be working the Kylie show because there's a lot that's gonna be going on with that. There's a lot of us that work City Field and works the Garden. I think a lot of people are going to be working over at City Field because that's their busy week when they first start the new baseball season. So I already know a lot of people that are probably at my job is going to be working over there. They're probably going to be short at the Garden, and I'm going to put that before anything else. And I think also there's some people that's talking about they want to work the Kylie show, but they feel like they're going to be doing. I'm like, I'm minding my business. I'm not going to tell you what my plans are. For the most part, I'm going to get those. I'm going to work that Kylie show. So I feel like it's going to happen because whenever it's usually like multiple shows, we either work one or both. Just like I said with Dom Dollar, I didn't think they was going to have me work both of them. They got me working both shows. And he was at the Garden yesterday at the Knicks game. But I think he was there because they needed him to promote his shows and to get y'all to be like, go online and buy tickets. And they were playing that Praise You remix that he did with Rita Ora. Which I wait, who did Praise You? The original, isn't that, no, that's not Moby. Fatboy Slim, I think, did the original version of that song. And so then they had Rita Ora come in and use that sample and sing basically that part. So yeah, it's about to be busy over in March, but there's that. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling gassy. Probably because I was drinking soda and then I'm done the water. But anyway, We are at the end of today's show. I want to thank you all for tuning in to today's episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I will say this also before I get off of here. I'm gonna definitely get, if I don't get put on for the tickets, I'm definitely gonna buy a ticket to Kylie's show because the tickets are actually reasonably priced. So I'll definitely get me some tickets to go see Miss Minogue if I need to. But I gotta go. I'm gonna have to go down to the box office so I get my discount because ain't no way in hell I'm paying full price. Wait, we got more comments. Andy Cohen called out Nutmeg over her anti-trans. Oh yeah, I don't know what. Look, this is the same conversation, and I'm gonna reiterate exactly the same thing Funky Dineva said the other day on his show. This is why I don't fool around with fish. And this is no offense to all women. I'm talking about certain women, where it's like y'all sit up in here, you fool la la with the homosexuals. Y'all sit up here act like you allies for the community and all this other stuff. But when it comes down to the roots of it all, y'all be the first ones to call gays sissies, punks, and faggots. And then when it comes down to the trans, you want to call them every other epithet under the sun. This is why it's like I love women, I respect women, but I keep y'all at a distance because you come out your mouth, you say some shit, I'm gonna weed your ass down to the floor, and you're gonna wish your mama swallowed. So this is why I just don't fool out with a lot of the women because of this whole situation. So I'm not surprised that Nutmeg would jump on this thing. She even was trying to go in on Alyssa Farrah Griffin the other day. Like, she clearly misses her old job. She was a nuisance when she was on The View. Nobody likes her big back, wide behind. So she got to come out here and start throwing the shade and saying little negative things, any little damn thing for attention. Girl, go find the nearest cliff and jump. How about that? So, I saw that he called her out, and then I saw some article the Daily Mail was doing, but I was like, okay, I already see what y'all think. Y'all are so pro-Trump with a lot of the stuff y'all talk about, so I didn't even finish reading the article because I was like, this shit just reeks of bias. And once y'all start jumping in with the stuff, and I could definitely see where y'all going with something, I'm like, it just smells like you're just being biased for the sake of being biased. I tune out. I'm like, okay, I know where you're going. I'm done. I wonder if Monet paid Daya yet for. Wait, what was the bet that they had? Did I miss something? Or is this something from years ago that I probably forgot about? Diabetes had a bet with Monet? You're welcome, Brown Bunny. Oh, yeah, so it was Fatboy Slim. Because I was like, I used to listen to a lot of Fatboy Slim. I went through this whole, but they would call it big beat music back in the day. So, like, Fatboy Slim and the Chemical Brothers, and that's like rave music. So that's what I was like listening to a lot of growing up in the 90s into the 2000s. And that's when MTV was MTV. They was really out here just pushing different genres of music. They don't do that no more. But anyway, as I said before, definitely hit that like button, that subscribe button. Also, be sure to smash that notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I will be back on tomorrow with a brand new episode of the show. So hopefully there's some good tea to be out here spilling so I can come back on here and be just as messy as usual. So love you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, ciao, darlings.